muting.
Okay, let me make sure I'm... Hold on. Let me fucking...
Let's see.
Yeah, I can see your stream.
Yeah.
And I'll start us off. I was just gonna say to Ego, I'm just gonna start us off as all. Oh, also Ego, don't forget to put yourself on auto pass.
Yeah.
We live? Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Boston Blue Beat Online. It's the day after ECT. My back feels sore because I have a weird posture, but I've been playing Rivals of Aether 2 all day. That game is mad fun. How are you doing, Ego?
I'm doing not too bad. Kind of stacked bracket that we got here. I think about 28 entrants, almost 30. So a bit like ECT, but a lot bigger names here, especially. Killer bracket we have. The Rivals of Aether part, haven't tried it out just myself yet, but I'm gonna assume it's a good game.
Yeah. It's So have you never heard of it at all? I'm a-okay with going on a crazy tangent right now.
I've played the first game once.
Okay. Yeah. So the second game's demo literally came out, and I have been playing it legitimately like all day. Well, not all day, but it dropped, and then I downloaded it, and then I was playing in a like really long set with Onikage. We played literally like 30 games, and my record was a clean 730. Yeah, I got the crap beaten out of me for the vast majority of that, but the game is really fun. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, let me just take a quick look because this is a pretty full bracket today.
Yeah, a lot of the good matchups that we have so far that I'm looking at right here.
I know I know Chaotic Games wanted to sign up for this somewhat last minute, but it was a little late. I couldn't make the executive decision on time. I was not looking in enough. But yeah, this should be pretty good. We've got folks like Quetzalgoatl. You got Xcaliburbladez. Aerodat is popping in. That's cool. Matt, Joshua, Mastfam. Whole lot of folks piling in today. I don't know if this is pretty big. So I am excited to see how this all kind of sorts itself out. I'm not sure if we have our first set. Let me just double check real quick to see. We'll get our first set queued up momentarily, but again, folks, this is probably going to be a pretty neat one. And again, this is like day after ECT ended. I know Aerodat was at the ECT in the CF side bracket, in fact. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised he pulled up again. I'd be tired. I'd be mashing something else, but the CF addiction is real.
Yeah. Most definitely, I remember that bracket immediately afterwards. He immediately asked for me to take his comp spot, so here I am. So.
Oh my God! Yes.
The competition is when you get that itch for competition, most definitely he can take a hold of you. So here he is in the bracket. I think he can put on a good run tonight. We'll see what's
should be pretty interesting. But let me just take one moment just to look over a couple of things, and then we'll get ourselves sorted out here, folks. So 1 second here. Ego, so did you actually? I completely forgot. Speaking of ECT, did you end up getting to play in that bracket or no?
In the blazblue one. or BlazBlue, or the one that I had to DQ from GrandBlue to do comms.
Mm.
If it's BlazBlue, I did enter. I went 1-2, and my only win was from a DQ. But we take the one win, even if it is a DQ. Of course, still got some stuff to work on. Of course, gotta run better block strings, of course. But as a humble bottom tier player with my Tourney, we'll take any competition. So
Yeah. I mean, it is. That is how the cookie often will crumble. With these sorts of things, trust me. It's one of those cases where like sometimes you're never really gonna get the complete bracket run that you are hoping for with like everybody in it and everybody's doing this and that.
Yeah.
So oftentimes it just ends up being like, okay, like I made it this far, these things happen, this is what I can work on and improve, and then we'll be good to go basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for our first set coming in, we have Tennarakun and Spritecranberry 1458291. So I feel like I've seen Tennarakun before. I am not familiar with Spritecranberry. Dang, I genuinely cannot recall how that had. I can't think about that too hard, but. Either way, we'll see what these guys queue in, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. From the look of things in the lobby, you think we might get an Azriel on here?
I can't trust
Never trusted the.
I can't trust player avatars. I can't trust players to play in certain things. It's always a time.
Yeah. All speculation, of course. Until we get into the game itself, I'm not gonna see what characters we have on screen.
But yeah, we're good to go if these guys want to queue in. We are a-okay with starting up our first set right away. So
yeah.
Feel free to not wait on us, basically. But while we wait on, guys, keep in mind that also we still have a full suite of brackets this week. So that means on Tuesday we still have our plus R bracket. Once again, same time, same place. So this will be 8 p.m. at twitch.tv/BostonBlueBeat, and you can check us out on Twitter at BostonBlueBeat to see any notifications regarding it or anything else coming up here. And then again, tomorrow we have our Undernight bracket, which might end up being very stacked since it's one of the last online brackets before Climax of Night kicks off this weekend, which is going to be pretty nuts. I'm going to say the seeding came out for it recently, and Shinobi put out the Caleb City video of when allergy season comes by, and it truly is a fight for survival. But we're going in right now with Azriel versus Lambda. So typically for this matchup, this is one of those cases where Azriel has a very, very high advantage, partially through the use of this projectile invuln move Growler. It really does let him shut down a lot of Lambda zoning. But unlike New 13, Lambda at the very least does have a few mid-screen options, but right now Tannara definitely wants to reset to a bit of a different reset to neutral state given the early burst here. But so far landing the first big hits here right now. Caught Sprite in the corner. This is sure to be a pretty decent start. But another thing that's really messed up about Growler is that Lambda typically can't use projectile Loki because Azriel can just wake up and Growler. The animations for like all of Lambda's like projectiles take way too long, so it's pretty reactable. So Azriel can kind of just queue up a Growler and invuln Druna, and then he gets like 3 massive projectiles to work with since most of Lambda's projectile Loki is multi-hitting. So he just kind of gains stocks pretty easily right there. And Sprite, off of like being put in the corner early on in that round, kind of really pushes the momentum to take that first round here.
Yeah, immediately using that Growler to good advantage, getting that first round on the board right there. Tries the EA right there, nobody home, but no real punish right there. Goes with that 5D, knock in the hand, keeps mixing it up, gets clipped with an overhead right there, tries to backdash, gets clipped as well.
Things are looking fine for the time being. Jesus! Okay, I was not expecting Gustav to end up hitting Lambda out of that Akparsa. On top of the 6, he ended up chasing the backdash here. This confirmed probably wasn't going to kill, but the Oki was going to be pretty devious here. Tannara bursts out of there. Things are looking fine thus far, but a good old 5BB mash will get the job done, and Sprite ends up taking the first game here.
Yeah, immediately getting that first game on the board for him. A quick 2-0 for the rounds. Want to see how Tennarakun immediately tries to follow it up, just get right back into it. Just honestly want to maybe try and establish that pressure just a little bit more, kind of be a bit, at times, maybe not be so, the Growler is very much a devious option, but
Yeah,
just want to see how they mix it up. So
yeah, it's a good option, and like Lambda still has certain options to work with on Oki if she doesn't want to do 214D or 2360 as a projectile Loki. It's all just a matter of she kind of just has to reposition or set up for certain newbies and safe jumps there. Tannara hasn't quite yet made that adjustment, so while there is no like visual icon for it. Oh wait, hold on. Going for the fake one and then doing a 3C, or rather going for the tap D version, that was pretty sick.
yeah, and now just has that corner pressure is something that Lambda really goes well with, just pushing those confirms more and more, racking up the damage. Blue B combo right here, not teching.
You gotta hold the attack button. You can never trust these players. Why? I'm not gonna lie. Tannara is letting a lot of the legacy edges rip. And Sprite thus far has just raised two hands and just stands there menacingly. Keep in mind again that once Growler interacts with the projectile, what in the God's name was that dash through the team? That was pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Plus frames off of the 6C. Ends up getting the hit with the Sentinel dump, but no big conversion yet. 2A ends up clipping Tannara right now. Nearly finishes the wreck. The second hit clips, but Sprite not able to convert off of that quite yet. Throw connects, and this is nearly death. This combo isn't going to kill, especially with that drop there, but this is looking real close. 5D RC into 3C, and Sprite ends up keeping it even on the rounds, and now Sprite is at set point here.
Yeah, Tannara gotta get this win here, gotta even up our set count, bring this to a game 3. Gustav right there, gonna get an immediate good start, get them in the corner, not gonna get a weak point set up just yet. Clips right there.
Oh, pops the OG on wake up. Good tech on the throw here. Not going to be able to convert super heavily. 3Ds coming out, but the EA will get it done. Both players in active flow, so those burst gauges are going to fill up a little faster, but it's not super likely for either of them to get OD. But very well, much so, will depend on how long this round goes. Sprite might just pop it due to Azrael's like high health and kind of letting him tank some more hits. So yeah, burst gauge already back for Sprite. They can pop another OD, but messes up the tech on the legacy edge here, popping OD for the second time in this round, folks. No RC on the 5D, so unable to convert, trying to keep up with the pressure. Lower weak points applied. That is the extension with the drive. Burst gauge finally available for Tannara. This is looking real close here. Oh my god, they got nervous and went for reversal super.
Yeah, baited that out right there, and Sprite's gonna take our first set of the night 2-0 over Tennarakun.
Yeah. And our next set coming up is going to be pretty interesting. So this will be Vexia versus Aerodat. Now I know Aerodat's your boy. I know you got your bias. And Aerodat is the eternal little brother for me. But Vexia is also a good friend of mine. So Vexia plays Mai and also plays Jin. And I know that he absolutely hates the Ragna matchup. So it is likely that he's probably going to try to go Jin for this one, but we'll see kind of what happens here. Aerodat, of course, protagonist player that he is not likely to pick any other character. I don't know if he has any other like subs or whatever, but he's long been solo Ragna, so yeah. Should not expect any crazy switches in that regard.
Yeah, unless he's feeling a bit devious, of course. He does have a Naoto, and if he really feels like
he doesn't got a Naoto like that.
He does not. He does also have. He quote unquote has a tertiary Hazuma, but
he does not have a tertiary.
Yeah, but probably just gonna see the Ragna. Of course, everybody knows Aerodat. Everybody in the CF scene, the ultimate little brother complex of Aerodat, the Ragna player.
But yeah, so this will be pretty interesting to see. I know Vexia has been grinding the game quite a bit, and I'm just curious to see kind of how some of this will pan out. I don't know if these two players have actually fought each other yet. I feel like they have, but I genuinely can't recall off the top of my head. But let's see what characters we get locked in. It's going to be the Ragna here. Let's see, are we going to get the Mai or potentially Jin? don't know yet. I can't trust players until I hear the character name on the screen. I've had too many people pick subs randomly, but it is gonna be the Mai. So Mai in general is quite a good character. Generally, people would consider her to be pretty anti-meta just due to her having pretty great matchups against the top tiers. But in certain like matchups, she kind of struggles at the mid-range, which is a place in which Ragna can particularly excel. Whether that's just the Jesus kick with 5B, or poking at certain ranges with 5C, in fact, or you know, perusing for some other option. So it can be tough for Mai to deal with Ragna and like other characters such as Susanoo and what have you. But I'm curious to see how both players are going to try to kind of navigate around some of those ranges.
Yeah.
As we're getting into this round start. Okay, pretty patient right there with the flip and the JAs.
Yeah, Vexia now just establishing that pressure, using the drive moves right there, JD right there, just keeping them at pace, at bay. There's that JC right there, clutching with a counter hit 5B, going to the corner.
Alright, solid conversion coming in here, 3.4k, and the corner is pretty great for Ragna. Clips Vexia up with a slight delayed 5C. I'm not sure what that was catching, maybe a fuzzy jump perhaps, because it wasn't flip, otherwise it would have been a counter hit. Speaking of, oh my god, okay, immediately flipping out and diving. Nightmare Edge barely clips in reverse, but things are looking pretty great for Aerodat still, managing to maneuver around the JD so far, and this should lead to a kill as long as he can finish up this confirm, and there we go.
Yeah, clips him with the JC right there, leading into a good confirm, getting that first round on the board for Aerodat.
5C round start again. Aerodat trying to police some of the mid-range options there, and the 5B stuffing Mai. Quick OD conversion, pretty nice adjustment for the spacing until you drop in the corner. That is most unfortunate. Oh boy. Beefy DP coming out. Both players showing off some of their reversals right there. Vexia immediately dialing in with the flip there. Nice guard break off of the lunge. Not able to convert anything crazy off of it, but still putting some of the pressure on Aerodat, clipping with the low at range.
Yeah, Aerodat now just establishing the pressure, gets that 6B to hit right there, gonna be a good confirm at the wall here.
Solid damage, not going to be able to kill yet, but with active flow especially, most starters will get it done, and Vexia doesn't have any burst gauge to work with here, so no overdrive, no burst, you just kind of have to figure it out with the comeback here, but Aerodat with the conversion from mid-range, popping the RC and finishing up the confirm in order to take out the Mai right now. So that is one game for Aerodat so far. Oh, and we're seeing a quick character select. Okay, we're gonna see the Jhin, or are we gonna chill out and think over what to do in the set? I don't know. Genuinely don't know.
And maybe just taking this time, just compose yourself. Don't know what's going on. Can see the Jhin, of course. And see what the next decision that we got on board. So important. And we go right back into the Mai. Just gonna try to reflect on the game plan, see what you can do a bit better, and get right back into this game too.
All right, word. So again, this matchup is not going to necessarily be very, very easy for Mai to handle, but we'll see. We'll see if Vexia ends up making certain adjustments, whether that's spacing themselves a little farther and respecting 5B and 5C, or maybe delaying some of the timings on the spear a lot. You know, while Mai's JD, you know, the projectile toss can redirect itself once, it does not have very crazy tracking, so we saw Aerodat maneuver around it quite well. So I'm wondering if like there might be some delays in that or some alterations to movement, but the JA of the gods, Ragna's JA ends up clipping there quite early in this round. And folks, that JA is crazy. It looks so simple. He just extends his fist out, but let me tell you, that aerial is absurd. It's so good. I remember playing against Nachos, the Canadian, and his neutral was a lot of JAs and just 5As, and I was like, oh my god, I'm getting struck for doing, like, for some really bad approaches here. But Aerodat's working on a perfect right now, oh my god. Oh, JC counter connects. Right when I say that, I curse the boy.
Yeah, it gets clipped right there now in the corner right here. Vexia not just backing off, not approaching to do anything in the corner here, just establishing pressure. More buttons come right back into the corner. Nice confirm right here.
Conversion is good, and you can see Vexia really is trying to respect the DP right there. The backdash does get caught by the Blood Scythe right over there. One thing that can be really tough to do in this game is that, especially when your opponent has enough meter to RC, you truly do still have to run some of your Oki, because otherwise, if you back off, your opponent will recognize that you are outside of their threat range, so they won't feel the need to DP RC. You want to force them to burn that meter, but it's just genuinely a tough decision. Speaking of burning resources right there, I really do like the option to go into Command Dash that drew out the overdrive from Aerodat, but the following movement ended up getting clipped by Arrow. What a big read with the IED air throw. Oh my god. Trying to snipe them out of the sky. The 5A ends up clipping. Vexia trying to find some ideal spacing here. The delayed double jump nightmare doesn't work. Aerodat, please do not take notes from Zen. DP does not work out either. 5C fatal into the 2C. This is sure to be about 4k damage. Oki should be solid as well. Enough meter for a DPRC. Let's see if it comes out. No dice. Backing off after the string here. Vexia right now trying to find a hit, swinging for the fences. Couple of whiffs, but nothing damning so far. Ooh, I like the guard break RC. Catching the backdashes twice. Oh my god. Actually, no, that caught jump start up right there. Aerodat didn't have enough time to barrier after trying to jump forward.
Yeah, not getting this to a round 3 right here. Vexia immediately clipping the air movement. Nothing too good right there. Just establishing Aerodat more, just more of that. Skin them to the corner right here. Gonna be a nice confirm. Not how much damage this does.
It's about 3k and some change. So that spacing right there from Aerodat, I'll talk about it in a moment as we kind of move on. Oh! Faking the safe jump and then goes for the TRM. Vexia twitched a little bit right there with the throw OS, and Aerodat with a slight delay on that throw ended up clipping them. Their burst bait coming in as well. Plenty of meter as well as OD available. Doesn't even need to spend it. Well, doesn't even need to spend the OD. Aerodat cleaning it up with a perfect at the end.
Yeah, and immediately getting that win 2-0, moving on in this bracket. Just clean play from Aerodat, a few drops here and there, but overall just playing solid. Next match though looks like,
yeah, some pretty good stuff. So as we again, we got our next stream matches already queued up. So it's going to be Deltarunner versus Fyre. And let me see, if I remember correctly, I'm like quite sure that, at least I always believe that Deltarunner plays a Murakumo. And I know Fyre plays a combination of Kagura and Noel. So I would assume, I honestly have no idea who Fyre would want to pick. I know that the Noel is kept as a counter pick for certain situations, which to those that may be a little newer to BlazBlue might sound surprising, given that that Noel is generally considered to be a pretty weak character. But I know that Fyre's been doing it for ages. Those are the characters that he likes and has locked in with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I generally have on Noel. Actually, now that I think about it, Ego, what is your opinion on Kagura? I'm just curious.
A lot of damage, first of all, but honestly, I think a very interesting character. I think the only character in this game with charge inputs, if I am correct.
He's the main charge character. If you for whatever reason, Platinum also has a charge input for her counter. So we were talking. So yeah, actually, this reminds me. So at ECT, when we were talking about Furemu over there, yeah. So her counter that Ryder was having a hard time with is on a charge input. It's like 28C, which is kind of weird, but that is a thing. But oh my god, I am completely, well, I guess Izanami's technically a doll, but not a Murakumo in the slightest. Izanami versus Noel, I'm gonna keep it a buck, folks. You don't see this matchup, but I don't think it'd be strange to say that it kind of sucks dirt for Noel here. But I don't think Fyre wants to deal with playing Kagura into this matchup, most likely for the movement. Noel definitely is much faster, able to kind of weave in and out a lot better. So we'll see how this pans out so far.
Yeah, immediately for Fyre using those air buttons right there, just moving around in the air. But Deltarunner gonna get a nice confirm right here. Is that gonna bring them to the corner? I believe it will. The corner carry's so insane. Gets the rib cage right up right there.
I'm not gonna lie, Ego. If Izanami gets a hit and there's 25 meter and you see that CT getting spent, you're probably gonna end up in the corner. I'm not gonna lie to you. That character's corner carry is wild. And Fyre showing off Noel's corner carry with some solid routing here as well. OD's on the 2C. You are bold going for the 4D right there. Oh my god. 2B counter it connects, but Deltarunner didn't have much else queued up there. I'm not sure if that was intended to be a reversal super input, and then maybe part of it dropped because it is 236, 236B, but That being said, we're still in it here. But Deltarunner finding another hit, unable to finish the conversion into a kill, but ends up getting the hit in the resultant scramble.
Yeah, just some good confirms right there from Deltarunner, getting himself a round up. Fyre now just pressing that offense, clips them right there, going right to the corner.
Ooh, nice conversion right there. Dash cancel into the 2 at B is pretty sick stuff, right? So things are looking solid. Gets the throw confirm as well. Gonna be decent damage now. Deltarunner doesn't necessarily need to burst. Noel does not have super high damage confirms unless it's like a nice and proper counter hit. But most of the time, like a 2A over here, this probably doesn't even kill with the meter spend. So Deltarunner does have another chance. Likely not going to spend burst for the rest of the round, I can only assume. Oh, just barely got enough meter for the super. Does it kill? Yes, it does.
It does. Tying up those rounds, immediately going ourselves to a round 3 right here. Want to see what these round start options are. We've seen Fyre go to the air quite a lot. Want to see if anything gets caught out. Nope. Deltarunner just deciding to back off. You see your trades right there.
Oh my god. And I think that's pretty interesting to use the JC, right? JC. So Fyre's doing some up back JC in order to, I believe it's disjoint, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. So he's trying to bait out some of Deltarunner's more aggressive options by leaving that disjoint there. The counter hit JC doesn't, I don't know actually how hard it is to necessarily convert off of it, but just scoring that hit in neutral to convert into offense is great. 6B overhead does end up connecting as well, and with a quick spring raid, Fyre is up 1 game on the Noel versus Izanami. I did not know she had unique interactions for this matchup, but it makes sense. I don't see this matchup, so I didn't know that Noel had like a unique round start and unique game win.
Yeah, most definitely an uncommon matchup that we see, especially with these two characters, very opposite ends of the tier list that people make. I don't pay much attention to those anyways, but
tier lists are dope. But Noel sucks. I can tell you that. I can tell you that for a fact.
That much is for sure.
Oh my god. Okay. Deltarunner opting for the 3C and Fyre just going for neutral jump. And I'm surprised at the early burst from Deltarunner. I don't think Fyre was really going to convert into much Oki or damage. But they do end up resetting to neutral and getting hit. Unable to finish the combo, so they can't go into the corner and run some of Izanami's disgusting set play. Trying to use some of the slide in order to score a hit, but Fyre is not really biting much at all. Whoa! Okay. I did not expect that to happen. So 6B does sometimes low crush and will result in her hopping over certain buttons, but I was not expecting it to go quite like that. The 6C does end up connecting. Should be some pretty solid damage here. Gets the fireball, able to go into the rib cage as well. 6B overhead connects, and that should be the round for Deltarunner. Pretty smooth.
Yeah, just immediately just running that dominant offense, especially in the corner right there, getting a round up, trying to tie up the set as quick as possible.
Another TK2 on 4C from Fyre. He's really trying to catch Deltarunner, like dash in and approach. It does have a decent amount of recovery, but because Deltarunner is opting to play a little more passively at round start, you don't really see Fyre get punished, so they kind of just reset off to neutral. Speaking of which, Fyre ending up getting a pretty big hit. Not much neutral to be seen yet. Solid offense right there, trying to get a good hit. 236C ends up connecting after everything. This is going to be pretty decent. Again, Noel's Oki is not super crazy, but Fyre going for... Oh, no. So, well, I'll talk about that hit right there momentarily, but this is looking real good. This could be OD potentially into a kill, but Fyre takes the knockdown. Instant JD, which goes over the 5B, in fact. Which is a pretty shiesty thing to do, I'm not gonna lie. JD and 4D, if you are not as familiar with playing against Noel, those buttons will give you a very, very bad time.
Yeah, getting the kill right there and immediately getting us to a round 3 set point, but Deltarunner pressing on that offense so dominant in the corner right there, gets a counter hit, just gonna continue right here.
I'm surprised Fyre didn't end up pressing for offense after the 2 and 4A, you know, the big lunge, as that is pretty minus, so you can just run your pressure immediately afterwards, but maybe he was wary of some other option or just didn't recognize what had happened. Either way, Deltarunner, despite putting themselves into danger state, is landing some pretty good hits. Can't go into ribcage because they lack a barrier gauge. So right now, as long as Fyre gets a hit, this is going to be a bit more damage than usual. Again, danger state does give you an extra 20%, but barrier gauge is full. Danger state has ended. 4Ds on the reversal super. Deltarunner has not poked with a low yet. Remember, 4D does lose to foot property normal, so as long as you just throw out, as long as you mash like a 2A or any crouching normal, you will beat that 4D. Right now, I think that 4D might actually help Fyre succeed in the set. Burst is available, and Fyre was unable to route into OD. Ribcage in neutral doesn't work out, but the throw connects. Burst is sure to come up. No! Deltarunner didn't cancel into super. That would have kept the burst safe, but the full screen slide ends up clipping Fyre.
Yeah, coming right there, tying up our set 1-1. A little bit of a scramble state right there, especially after putting yourself in the danger state right there. Just tying us right up, gonna take a little bit of time, think over it. We got plenty of time, but immediately rematching right into it, getting ourselves to a game 3.
I'm surprised that Fyre got caught by that. I can only assume that they attempted to jump last second upon recognizing the slide, and then it clipped him out of jump startup. But otherwise, I am not too sure. Oh, Fyre in the chat saying that they wanted to 2D it. Just block! Block the thing, please. Just block. You have meter for counter assault if you really don't want to deal with bits. Ooh, good old D on the 5C as well.
Yeah, gonna immediately try and bring him to the corner, but an immediate burst from Deltarunner right here. Gonna
see
once again to the corner. Yes.
See what happens when you jump the slide instead of trying to, you know, 2D it. You don't got to do the invuln option always. You just hop, skip, and jump away. Deltarunner, however, finds this next hit, and this is going to be pretty disastrous for Fyre. No burst gauge available, no ribcage Oki, in fact, but the 4D again on the 6B. Deltarunner hasn't popped again, and enough crouching normals to severely discourage Fyre from using that reversal option, so it's worked out quite well. Command grab super on wake up? Jesus, you don't need to pop ribcage. Oh wait, but the time stop means that the barrier gauge doesn't drain. Wait, that's actually really messed up. This character is kind of crazy. Oh my god, you tried to slide in their face? Bits aren't available. So the 6C ends up getting blocked, no special cancel, but now you're in danger state with barely any health to work with. Any stray neutral hit can get it done, but the anti-air 6A ends up connecting here. This isn't quite going to be enough to kill, but this combo's going to take so long that just look at the barrier gauge. With that super, the barrier gauge is full, out of danger state, not quite going to kill, actually going to go into neutral here. Ribcage is set up. All it takes is one more hit. Can Deltarunner get the hit, or can Fyre run the clock here? Danger state once more. Bits are still available. Pops the OD immediately. Reversal super on the float. Oh my god.
Yeah, getting that run on the board now. Set point right here for Fyre. Deltarunner gotta try and even up the set any way possible. Let's see what we saw. Round start. Really going for those aerial options for Fyre. A good pickup from Deltarunner right here. OD pop.
6C ends up clipping here. Back into neutral. Reverse hit. Reverse hit JB. Yes, that normal does cross up. And yes, it's way too active. Deep dash up. And you can see, again, the Noelle's movement is so important in this matchup. Her ability to close up space or evade Izanami has been very great for Fyre so far. Blocks the 6B. Late on the RC, but still able to block. Oh my god, 6D RC into the low. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, gonna be a good confirm right here.
Not a ton of damage. Goes for the cross under with the 2A. Slick stuff here. Still going to take a bit more hits in order to get it done. Opts for the 2-2X. Things are looking fine, but this can get very disastrous very quickly. Kara's the 5A into barrier. JD's, but the rest of the combo whiffs. That is truly cursed. I don't know what else to say. But this is about to be some Izanami Oki, and this is going to be a rather bad time for Fyre. Messes up the float cancel, but things are still looking good. The super jump ends up beating out the burst.
Yeah, tying up our set right there. A bit of an interesting situation, but immediately round 3, last game, last round. OC jumps right in, goes for an aerial option, clips right there. Once again, gets a counter hit right here, gonna do some decent damage, nothing too severe. Gets another counter hit, gonna bring him right to the corner. Burst right there though.
2A catches the landing, but after a couple of trades, Izanami still ends up getting the hit. Set safely up into ribcage here. 6B as well. Good throw tech. Ends Izanami's ribcage. Nice anti-air coming in right there from Fyre. His combo's not going to lead to a ton of damage, but Deltarunner does not have any burst gauge to work with. Reversal supers are available, however. Let's see what comes up. No dice. It's just going to be a counter assault. Fyre also has plenty of meter to work with. Good blocks. Dash up 5B ends up clipping Izanami out the backdash, but Fyre didn't believe in the hit.
Yeah, just Deltarunner trying to establish anything though. Gets clipped right there, and that should do it.
As long as they finish up this conversion, but I've seen some crazy drops. Fyre, however, finishes the job and will take the set 2-1.
Yeah, moving on in our bracket right here. A good showing on the Noel, taking out one of the demon characters of this game with Izanami.
That was some pretty good stuff. And once again, we still got more. Matches queued up for y'all folks. Next up we will have. I don't know if it's Tubazo or literally just Tubazo versus Maknchess, but I'm just gonna go with Tub for the time being.
Yeah.
And again, so Maknchess does play S. I don't believe they have any subs. I am not familiar with Tub whatsoever, so this will be probably a learning experience for the both of us, yes?
Yeah, definitely a bit interesting. Maknchess, of course, that S. Don't think I have seen Tubs in a bracket before.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen them. Honestly, let me see. Let me see if we can do a little start GG magic to see what brackets they've been in before. It would be a shame if I had not recognized them, but I swear to God, CF brackets these days are very fun in the sense that you can host either an offline or an online, and you'll see like 10 players sign up, and you're like, I don't know who any of these people are. That to me is super exciting. I love that stuff. Where you genuinely are just encountering new players, and every now and then you see someone that ends up giving a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
but,
just got confirmation in the chat. It is Tuba, more like that, and they play Arakune, it looks like.
Oh, Tuba. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate the corrections. My tag is very, very easy to... Hold on a second. Why in the world do you have an Aizen profile pic for this?
I don't know. I wasn't asked. I think they just took my profile picture on Discord, which is Sosuke Aizen.
I forgot that you have Aizen as your... Oh my god.
Yeah, former Squad 5 captain Sosuke Aizen reporting for comm duty, apparently.
Oh my god, that's a-okay. Aizen, I just find Aizen to be funny because one of my friends is reading Bleach recently, and so Aizen has just been a meme amongst like a group of 6 people. It kills me.
Most definitely has some funny images. But anyways, getting into our set right here.
So this matchup for Arakune sucks, like, a lot. I will explain that if we see some of those aspects, but for the time being, Tuba does have some Curse Oki to run. DP coming out from Maknchess, which is extremely dangerous to do against the Arakune and Curse. Again, Arakune has so many ways of baiting out reversal options when you are in Curse that it is typically inadvisable, but sometimes you will see a DP end up working out here. Right now, Maknchess running some pressure. Ends up copying a Fatal, but that's going to be the burst coming out from Tuba quite early on. So, a big reason why this matchup sucks for Arakune, on top of S6B's existence, is frankly just the way that S polices the neutral. Arakune, without Curse, typically likes to spend his time in the air, maneuvering around with lots of normals like JB in particular, and, you know, setting up Curse and so on. But S's anti-airs on top of her, like, air-to-airs in JBB, arguably JA at certain points, and sometimes landing with JC, are so potent that it is extremely hard for Arakune to even get started. So things can go from bad to worse for Arakune very, very quickly. The usage of the barrier there on the crest ended up resulting in Maknchess not landing a CT in that scenario, which otherwise would have chunked out a lot of the barrier gauge and gone pretty well, but a couple of mashes from Tuba in S pressure. So honestly, when you see some of S's pressure, you just gotta note the times in which they want to use certain drive normals. Those are typically more exploitable to either OD through, or if you have like a body invuln or foot invuln option, depending on the hits, you can, usually counter that with something there. Otherwise, it can be a little awkward to deal with S pressure, especially when a crest is set up. It can feel like the infinite block string meme from like Wagner of like uni like ST days, which is a completely different game, I know, but I can remember too many tweets, I guess.
Yeah, Maknchess getting that first game on the board right here, just establishing more and more pressure Tuba just not being able to establish essentially what Arcane wants, trying to play with that curse, trying to get anything, get those insects out on the field.
Should be curse here with this confirmed, but a big drop again. Anytime Arcane drops and curse is not available, you are being blessed in some manner, because just getting to avoid curse or not needing to pop a burst for like a basic B&B is so pivotal for like characters that really like holding on to their OD. S's OD is pretty good, but you don't often see it super frequently. She can be a little more flexible about it, but with that 2C hit right there, that is going to be the curse mix-up city. Yeah, Tuba already getting a couple of early hits. As long as they get this next hit, that will be the round. Yeah, DP's not going to work out there. Again, Arcane has too many ways to like cleanly bait DP and still mix up.
Yeah, get that round on the board for Tuba, and moving into that round 2 kind of hit right there.
Oh my god. The round start 4B ending up countering the 6B. Back to neutral. Tuba finding a curse to get on the screen. And getting Tracking Cloud is really great. See how quickly the curse ends up accumulating, and Maknchess ends up popping burst while still in curse. So this could be very well a rough time. Look at the barrier gauge, dude. Look at it.
Immediately just about to go into danger state, just about to get out, using the fireballs, got the pest on the screen.
Dog, that barrier is not happy and healthy. 6B counter hit connects. Not able to convert, just a little too high for that specific RC. Cross up JD gets blocked. Back into neutral, but Maknchess already pressing the issue with the oh my god. We're purple throwing today? Is this what we've come to? We've purple thrown early. I know Maknchess likes to do it for fun, so I can't judge too hard. They just like doing it.
Yeah, that's
round
on the board, set point right here.
Dude, have I ever told you? Okay, so I don't think you were there for this, but there was a time period in which like I used to get purple thrown online like constantly. Like it was bad. Like you could purple throw me like twice and I would not tech it. It was like uniquely awful. Which is why we have the like Torii throw emote. If you guys end up subscribing, you can use it. But I remember going offline and then starting to tech like purple throws and being like, oh my god, I'm not insane. I swear I have reactions. But it can be tough sometimes when you're just like in the thick of it, trying to think of like what a player can do in a given moment, what the Oki might come up later, what the like Oki next is going to be, and then you just get purple thrown and you're like, oh, well, I feel bummed now. It can be rough. Tuba right now though, working on a game 2 win. That curse cloud's gonna do some pretty good work, and the 2C ends up clipping S. So the 2C, the shark right there, is pretty cool of an idea. Because they set up like a couple of the bugs on the curse clouds, they wanted to force Maknchess to approach, and because 2C is a low, right, Maknchess would have had to just immediately dash and then down back barrier. And with meter, of course, you can make 2C safe. So you either kill them or you catch the approach, and then you still get to like run some pressure. Oh my god! Round start dash through the projectile, then the early burst doesn't work out, which means that you're going to be stuck dealing with a curse Arakune. Off of a blue beat confirm as well. This is tragedy at its finest.
Yeah, not good so far. And immediately working on a perfect right here. This with meter should kill. Yes, it does.
You are dying. You are not long for this mortal coil. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah, now Tuba now 1 round away from moving on 2-1 over Maknchess right here, adapting very well after that first game. But Maknchess getting a good confirm right there. It's a bug right there, stopping any aerial movement from Maknchess.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny that it's sort of a twist on what earlier was Maknchess policing so much of Tuba's aerial movement, like in that round 1 game where burst is baited. This is probably gonna kill, by the way. You're actually dead. GG's, shake my hand, see you next round, maybe.
That is Tubazo going 2-1 over Maknchess and moving on, I believe, into our top 8. Actually,
let me double check. Not quite. Yeah, not quite top 8. Yeah, we're moving in quickly though. Yeah. Keep in mind, folks, we already have most. That settles out the rest of our winners quarters matches. So we have Xcaliburbladez versus Oni coming up, and that will now be Tuba versus JustATomato. We have Dawn versus Guymam, and then we have Mastfam versus Fyre. So we'll see unique characters for each of these sets. Now, I will attempt to paint a slight bit of a picture. Let me double check. Yeah, we do have Dawn versus Guymam coming up for our first set. So, and then it will be Xcaliburbladez versus Oni. So, Guymam is an old head player. I never ended up getting the chance to meet them or chat with them, but I know that they were around like Giuna and Majin Obama like a bit back in the day in Japan, if I remember correctly. And they had signed up for a few offline brackets. I know that they played Naoto Kuragane, so this will end up being Naoto versus Relius, which is, I would wager to be relatively even. I have not seen this matchup super frequently, but the long and the short of it is that while Dahl is very great for Relius in neutral, Naoto still has a few disjoints like Kaid, 2 and 4D in order to check the Dahl, and Naoto's buttons in general can still contest in certain like areas, and his aerial buttons are great too. So if he wants to jump over Ignis for whatever reason, sometimes JC will just happen to clip Ignis or will trade and at least despawn Ignis. And then on top of all of that stuff, Naoto still has his drives in order to kind of maneuver around in neutral and potentially clip either Relius or Ignis. So there's a lot of options available for Naoto. And then for Relius, of course, Ignis is still potent in neutral. Just because Naoto has options against Ignis does not mean that she's useless at all. And Relius pressure is still built to be incredibly safe. You know, if you are more familiar with Guilty Gear over the years, Relius is effectively kind of a Venom. Not Venom. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Relius is usually the character people play when they like Zato. Like, for example, Beautiful Dude, the Zato player, plays Relius. But yeah, I wonder how this will go. Normally, Dawn goes for relatively aggressive, fast-paced round starts. Like, he'll summon Dahl and then immediately try to, like, catch a hit in neutral. So I'm wondering if Guymam might want to play it a little safer, or if he might try to play a bit more aggressively at round start. It's typical for Relius to, like, IAD back Dahl summon. Oh my god, okay. Or we see an IAD forward and Guymam ends up stuffing them with the jump forward JAs. Oh my god. That spacing trap is disgusting. You see that button whiff from Relius? And then the 5A just clips? That is disturbing, disgusting, or otherwise unheavenly. I love it.
You're gonna have a good confirm right there, rolling out of the corner for Dawn right here, but
swap.
immediately clipped once again, gonna go right back into the corner.
Oh, unfortunate drop. Would have been able to kill if Guymam ended up spending all the resources there, but should be pretty decent. Dawn ending up scoring his first hit. Dahl gauge is should be about 50% after this confirmed, so we might see a D-summon come up in pressure relatively soon. Ooh, I like that jump up J2D. There's the D-summon again. When you're dealing with Relius pressure and you see that Dahl gauge start to get low, that's when you really want to spend some of the brain power to look for the D-summon so you can start challenging. Oh, I like the idea of the enhanced DP, but Dawn spacing himself really well to get out of it. Unable to convert after that hit, but that should have been really good. Might be able to still kill here, but not super confident in it. Plays it very safe with the barrier on the burst, and that was pretty clean stuff. One thing that is really difficult to kind of deal with sometimes, like when you are eating a hit, is that if your opponent shows that barrier, you just have to believe they're just going to commit to the burst bait. Like, that delay burst is probably going to get hit. And if you are that opponent and you are, like, holding barrier, expecting a burst, just commit to it. At that point, you've locked in on a decision, and you just got to work with it. I like the Oki coming in. Good challenge on the 6A. Still gets boxed out, but Guymam ends up finding their way out of the corner. Big trade for the Kaid, so that's going to result in them being able to manage, start some corner pressure, but some of the jump outs from Dawn are succeeding. Counter Assault does get baited with the jump cancel, and that's going to be the first game for Dawn.
Yeah, just a bit of a dominant showing right there, just using all those tools that Relius has. That Dahl right there, so oppressive at times. Just gonna go immediately right back into it though. Just gonna see how we adjust a little bit there. A good showing that we saw on the round start. Just gotta continue, gotta be, honestly might need to play just a bit more aggressive from Guymam, not getting the...
Yeah, it can be tough to kind of... I think he is having a hard time starting offense, but it's also the way in which Dawn is pressuring that's kind of making it difficult. Like, Guymam will start their turn, and they can run some pretty solid offense here. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Oh, that whiff throw is unfortunate. Sometimes when your opponent, like, throws in a barrier, it really does, like, force you to either Kara throw to get a little more range. Oh, my God! Really good conversion and great recognition on the spacing to go for the throw into the fully charged 60. That reversal super is not going to be it, however. Burst comes out for Guymam, and that's, again, a big tool for Naoto to not have. Same for Dawn popping his burst as well. Ignis ends up getting disabled, but resummoned with the 2-1-4A. Things are looking pretty solid here for Dawn. But again, both burst gauges being spent could be kind of disastrous depending on how either player ends up running their pressure afterwards.
Got a guard push right there, but nothing shade off of that for Guymam. Gets a nice confirm right there.
Pretty awkward neutral, but the hit comes in, and this should be a kill. Gonna go for the air smasher, and with that, that will be the first round for Guymam here in the second game.
Yeah. Immediately a lot better than we saw in that first round, just establishing such a good offense right there, just using his buttons right there. It goes right through, gets a counter hit right into the corner.
Yeah, and that's the Kai that I'm talking about. Due to the power of that disjoint, you just watch Naoto hit Ignis and then still clip Relius at the end of the animation. Now, Guymam, of course, still getting clipped early on there, but the challenge with the 5A, expecting the delay air dash mix, and missing the combo right there. So Guymam is attempting to go for like a micro dash 2C, but they're getting their 3Cs instead, which is resulting in like the Fan and Pain follow-up whiffing. Dawn ends up getting a hit off of another awkward scramble, and things are looking pretty good for him. Dual BIOS is out, and you gotta respect it, baby. Yeah, there ain't much to deal with when it comes to that. It is the hold that super of all time. Oh my God! DP clashes RC, but Dawn still ending up finding a hit at the end of the day and puts himself at set point.
Yeah, one more round away from Dawn here, trying to move on right here. Just establishing more pressure, a little bit of a spin right there. Gets the doll set up, counter hit right there.
Delay air dash gets blocked. Tries to go for a spin 2D, pretty aggressive option. It spends a lot of the doll gauge, but Dawn really wants to mix up Guymam's attempts at DPing, so you can see that affect some of his Oki there. Guymam still ending up getting a good hit. Not going to be a ton of damage. Checks the delay tech as well. This is going to route into the corner should he manage to get the rest of this combo. Just barely spaced for that 2C to hit. Reversal super is available for Dawn. Not likely to see it quite yet. Maybe off of the next hit. Who knows? Crosses up with a JB. Counter assaults Guymam into the corner. Ooh. Tries to play it really aggressively with the Fan and Pain, but it's not quite going to work there. Nearly 50 meter. Another smasher baited RC, but the 5A still ends up clipping. Dawn converts into OD, drops the combo that was surely going to kill. And once again, I'm going to talk about that moment in a second as Dawn cleans it up and wins 2-0 against Guy.
Yeah, moving right on, kind of throwing him to the side right there. But still a good showing from Guymam. Had some good moments in there, just wasn't able to put it all together into one, just to get the set win right there. Yeah,
so part of the reason why that those last interactions worked the way they did is that if Relius has the doll out, defensive ODs get really, really stupid for the defender. Basically, as OD kind of triggers, Relius is still able to effectively command Ignis. So in times where normally you might have caught Relius whiffing a button, maybe like, let's say like a 5C, which has pretty, decent startup and recovery, right? If the doll is out, Relius can still call Ignis and then just 6D. So if you try to counter hit him with something after OD ends, you get hit yourself. And then you are forced instead to go for an Exceed Excel, which, as long as you don't have active flow, is a measly 2k confirm that will, depending on your character, reset to neutral. And then give you reset to neutral, keep you relatively close but with lacking Oki, or if you're maybe a character like Bullet or Taukaka, you can end up side swapping, but it is genuinely tough. But yeah.
Yeah, next match we're gonna see here is Xcaliburbladez, another puppet character on screen because we're gonna have the Carl Clover, and then we have Oni. Not quite sure who they play.
Oh, I can talk about Oni. I hate that guy, but I like him. He's a friend of mine. He was the guy I was just playing Mad Rivals of Aether with. We were grinding that game crazy. He was cooking me. I'm not gonna lie. So Oni is a New York-based Ragna player. I know they moved to Arizona for some time, but they play Ragna in Jin. And oh yes, I forgot. Xcaliburbladez did post out a tweet that he was learning Rachel. Yeah. So yeah, he has been working on the Rachel for a little bit. I haven't gotten the chance to play him, but this should be pretty interesting. Rachel, I'll put it very bluntly, this character is also a very messed up zoner, but Ragna does not have the worst time dealing with her. Plenty of decent movement options, and is able to at least like send out a couple of buttons in neutral in order to clip her. And that JC is certainly going to get the party started.
Yeah, maybe gonna get a good kill from right here, getting that JC right there, just establishing more pressure right there. Now those frames. OD's right through the dead spike right there.
This is going to be a pretty solid conversion for Xcaliburbladez. It's less the damage that matters, and more the fact that you are about to get set played in 50-50 for God knows how long. Instant overhead comes out, manages to get blocked. Minus frames into chair. I hate it. It's despicable, but it works. Sets up the frog as well. DPRC, but Xcaliburbladez ends up just counter-assaulting him right back into the corner. Chair gets blocked, and that's going to be a pretty beefy counter hit for Danny right now. Things are looking pretty solid. Not able to get the full conversion with the Nightmare Edge, as Oni did end up exiting OD. And you see post-tech how Oni opted for the jump there. We'll talk about some of Rachel's wind options and the way that it forces offensive characters to play through neutral. But the cross-up JB ends up clipping Rachel here. Throw tech, and again, we're seeing the immediate neutral jump here from Oni. So the reason why he's doing that is that Rachel's ability to super jump with wind is extremely good. It allows her to just go all the way back to the other side of the screen and then force you to play neutral. So Danny's trying to go for some of these neutral jumps in order to kind of like maintain position and check Xcaliburbladez and say, okay, what direction are you likely to go in, and can I react and then go with a reasonable option that works. And speaking of reactions, Oni trying to go for the air throw on the Tempest Dahlia there. Maybe 2-1 for D would have worked. I don't know how long the projectile invulnerability lasts for that move, but that probably would have been the play. And that risky hero burst at the end is going to prove rather terribly for Oni so far. Now look at the difference in burst gauge. Xcaliburbladez popping burst immediately, does not want to deal with any Ragna pressure whatsoever. Trying to find a good hit. Ooh, nice movement with the wind. Sets up shop with George as well as the bat. Oh my God, there's no way you meant to do Gauntlet Hades out of Lockstone. You did mean to do cross up ID, cross up in front of the divider. I do believe in that 100%.
Yeah, establishing the pressure right there, JC right there.
And you can see how Xcaliburbladez is using the barrier, especially when Oni is trying to use like 6D in pressure, because it pushes him so far out after 6D that he's able to fuzzy jump pretty cleanly. DP connects, tries to go for the safe jump, but mixes in the throw instead. This is sure to be a quick super into death.
Yeah. Goes for the 2-2C pickup right there, but still gonna get us to a round 3 right here. Gonna see what the frontside option is. Just jumps forward, JC goes right there, but still gonna be able to establish some pressure.
Ooh, 2-1 for 8 doesn't end up leading into much. Oh my God, I have no idea if that side swap was intentional. Ooh, Oni trying to be a little shiesty with the reverse hitting Nightmare Edge, but it doesn't end up working in his favor. In fact, you are now dealing with a Rachel with a full wind gauge that has popped OD. And you're gonna get some set play. I'm not gonna lie to you. Probably gonna be setting up, quick 2-3-6A in order to check some of Oni's options here. Counter assault once again. Excalibur really wants to keep opponents in the corner and does not want to deal with Ragnar getting started whatsoever. So you're seeing a lot of the early bursts, a lot of the counter assaults when Excalibur has a lot of meter. Oni hasn't been able to alter his pressure quite yet in order to account for it. There's a couple of ways that Ragnar can do it, but we'll get there when we get there. Right now, Oni has to fight for his life just to get in on Xcaliburbladez.
Yeah, finally does there. Gets a good clip right there. Can be some nice damage right here.
It's not going to be too much. Not a big conversion, but again, just getting Rachel cornered is like big, and when she leaves the corner, it sucks. Burst gauge is pretty full for Xcaliburbladez, but Oni ends up popping the OD. It's going to be a lot of health back and some pretty decent damage on Xcaliburbladez right now. This is probably going to be what, like near 5k? Yeah, 4.6.
Crowd by darkness right there, getting a lot of health back. Pops OD once more. Danny just keeping it in the corner right there.
Things are looking solid. Lots of meter to play with, but again, the chair ends up working out. The re-jump pressure, not going to be super good for Ragna. 4B ends up connecting the standing overhead. Pops the bat, super flies in from full screen. I have genuinely never seen a conversion quite like that from full screen from Rachel. That was really sick.
Yeah, that first game now on the board for Xcaliburbladez, going right back into it though. They not playing too terrifically, like not too like awful, but just unfortunately getting clipped by a few things right there.
Yeah, Rachel requires you to have very, very tight decision making. If you fumble on parts of your defense, or offense, in fact, Rachel will just get away to full screen, and then you have to work very, very hard to let her get in. In cases like that, however, where Oni does know that Xcaliburbladez is liable to burst early, it's far more worth it to force the burst out of Rachel and not deal with it any longer than potentially just drop it and do nothing. I love that wind movement from Xcaliburbladez, moving George the 13th, the frog, over in order to set Oni up for failure if he were to try to continue pressure with the 2As like that. Seeing some good old-fashioned strike throw pressure coming in from Danny. Nothing too much more to speak of. Tech's out. Excalibur gets in, goes for the low, overhead ends up connecting. No big hits from Rachel quite yet, but it's truly been a death of 1,000 cuts. Big delay, and the super jump really heavily calling out the reversals from Danny so far, and Xcaliburbladez is already moving towards set point.
Yeah, going immediately getting that round set point right now for Xcaliburbladez. Just trying to feel out anything went for JustATomato. It's going to be a ton to pick up overhead right there.
I really love the switch up in tempo from Xcaliburbladez. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but we got to see what more comes of this neutral right now. Plenty of time on the clock, but Xcaliburbladez is setting up shop. Just barely gets out of range of George the 14th, but the 6A ends up coming into anti-air. That anti-air is messed up for many, many reasons. We'll talk about it if it comes up, but not quite yet. You watched your opponent OD, and then you decided to say, you know what? I still don't like being minus. I'm going to chair here. There's something about the way that Excalibur plays defense somewhat belligerently on Rachel that has been working out in his favor, where, like, he's opting to block through a lot of, like, hits, but there are certain times in which he will let a reversal rip in a very unusual spot, and then you'll see, like, Oni just get clipped for his trouble here.
Yeah, popping OD for themselves. Xcaliburbladez getting right off away from full screen, using that projectile super right there, just tossing more stuff flying right back in.
Spends all of the lightning rods, however, but Oni still gets clipped right by the end of the lightning rod, trying to advance, but the bat behind the back will end up doing Oni in. So one thing that's really, really important to talk about with Rachel Wind is that when she sets up her projectiles, right, they are influenced by the wind, but this is most dangerous when you are dealing with bats. Like when she lobs some of the buttons with her 236 series, and then or converts the lightning rod into a bat. If you move in front of that lightning rod, she still can change it into a bat and then pull it in towards you. So you have to be very, very mindful. It's like a even cheekier Volante from Carl, right? So it can be quite difficult to deal with or pay attention to, because you don't want to make yourself dash barrier too frequently. Otherwise, Rachel has a lot more room to work with, and sometimes you have to deep dash, but you also thus therefore have to consider the ability of Rachel to just essentially boomerang a projectile and hit you in the back. So it can be very, very tough. Anyway, that being said, we do have our winner semifinals set up already for you folks here. So yeah, that's going to be Xcaliburbladez versus Tuba, and then it's going to be Dawn versus Mastfam. We have not gotten the chance to see Mastfam yet in this bracket. I assure you, something very, very silly will happen whenever I see Tager on the screen. But I think it would be quite interesting. Dawn and Mast have had, like, weirdly close sets where there are times in which Dawn will kind of, like, dumpster Mastfam for a few minutes, and then quite suddenly you will just see Mastfam land a command grab and Dawn will just get dumpstered for a bit. We'll talk a bit more about that later. So, folks, for those of you that are in Massachusetts, especially Western or Central Mass, Game Underground, one of the local venues, is running their big old regional tournament Guts that's coming up. And this is going to be in November, from November 15th to November 17th. So registration is open now, and you guys can go on GameUnderground.com to go ahead and sign up. So it'll be super, super hype. So Boston Bluebeat will be helping out, as well as Traveling Controller. And it should be a lot of fun. There's going to be a ton of games available. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like... I forget the games list off the top of my head. I know there's at least Street Fighter. I know that there's at least Tekken. And a slew of other games. So if you guys are in the Western Mass area, this is going to be in Springfield. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, right at the Mass Mutual Center. Very exciting event that we got. Also, don't forget to claim those codes in the match arena. Pay our players here. Maybe help them get maybe one soft taco from Taco Bell. Who knows?
Oh my god. But yeah, we're good to go. So the players can go on and start it all up.
Yeah.
But this is going to be interesting. I always assume that something very, very silly is going to happen, especially when Mast is there. But I genuinely have no idea how this set is going to go. Ego. So you've watched like a Jackie play a couple times on Tager. You've seen what Tager can do here and there, yeah?
Yes, I in fact have. I have seen the infamous CEO bracket with Mast.
Now, I don't know if I forgot that he does sub bullet. I always forget it until I see like the bullet icon there. Anyway, Mast is a fellow that likes to have fun and will do silly things sometimes. Also had a pretty impressive top 8 at Combo Breaker this year as well. So dude's been on a tear and has been improving vastly. That being said, again, this matchup sucks. This matchup really sucks for Tager. Like I can't go into detail just how bad it is for Tager to attempt to play neutral against a neutral dominant character, quite like Relius here. But when anybody's in the blender, certain things stop mattering as much. Oh my god, the sledge actually just killed Ignis.
Yeah,
Dawn getting clipped by the low and then the command grab. This is how it starts, by the way. Oh my god, delayed the wake up right there. I'm surprised too. Mast didn't end up going for gadget finger. Wedge catapult with such a long invold time ends up connecting against Dawn here. This might actually kill with Voltec.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Pops the rest of it for Terror Break. Oh my god, not quite dead yet. One touch will get it done.
Oh, did you not get in the kill right there? Dives right down, trying to get the doll to connect. Right there, using those aerial buttons. They'll get a nice confirm right here, keeping them in the corner right here. Let's see where the guess is right here.
You went for 214D in on offense against Relius, who could very well just block the follow-up. That was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That was especially loud. Oh my god, you 2-4B round start? You're a madman. But right now, Dawn managing to route in some sandwich pressure, but look at the doll gauge, already nearly depleted, and there's the D-summon as well. Lots of JAs coming out from Dawn. He does not want to deal with Mast potentially command grabbing him, like out of a offensive string. So he's using the JAs very preemptively in order to lock that down. Now, Mast can opt for 360B instead, or he can do a really, really hard read with an Atomic Collider if he wants to call out the JAs, but we haven't seen that happen quite yet. So far, Mast has been able to get a lot of nice hits in neutral. We might see a burst come up. Dawn trying to invuln it with the spin, but not going to happen anytime soon. OD? Oh my god, you just did Sledge on Wake Up? You're insane.
Yeah,
this guy is crazy. Oh my god.
Right there, pops OD.
This is gonna be a lot of damage.
There?
Like a lot of damage. You're actually dead.
You're dead.
By the way. So, hey, fun fact, Tager has some of the highest damage in the game if he gets the correct hit. I forgot, I guess, that Terror Break in OD still leads into a full combo, so that was pretty freaking insane. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Matt's now going up 1-0 over Don here. Get it
Yeah, I know
right.
I said that very calmly, but like I'm genuinely in shock. Like damn. Like this is the reason why Taker OD is so good. You don't want to. Oh my! Of course, the moment I say that, he bursts right after showing why Taker OD is like godlike. I don't understand these people. Oh my god!
Bait.
Fool that you are, going into Taker's loving arms. Don still ends up getting a hit and gets a mid-screen knockdown. Backdash gets clipped by a delayed 2D. While Taker backdash is absurdly invuln, it doesn't go very far. So Don can still use doll moves like 2D and 60 to check some of that and then react to the backdash and move accordingly. This is a guess for game scenario, by the way, or guess for round scenario. And there it is, right?
Yeah.
With the command grab.
Mass now on set point right here. Don gotta try and find any sort of momentum right here. Gotta get it in a good start right there. Gonna do some nice damage. Get them to the corner.
Doesn't opt for anything crazy on the knockdown either, mind you. Just trying to reduce some of Mass's options and play it as safely as possible. He does not want to deal with the blender in. Given how crazy that blender has gotten for Don to defend against, can you really blame him? Oh, reach-in route's coming in here as well. This should be a pretty healthy doll gauge coming in for the next knockdown. Don can opt to just back off and just bait out a reversal option, but plays it a hair more aggressively with the 2D, and I think he might have chipped Mast, in fact.
Yeah, get into a round 3 right here, final round here. Mast establishing some more pressure right here, getting into the corner a little bit. One for the command grab right there, gonna get clipped, gonna deal some nice damage, get a little bit of setup counter hit right
Wake
there.
up 2C? I don't understand. I know that Mast does it, but I still don't get it, because that move, like, in that scenario is not ideal, but by the grace of God, that man will make it work. By the way, you are now in 720 range, so have fun guessing on any of Taker's wake-ups. I'm going to tell you right now, Don is going to jump every time he knocks Taker down to the ground, and he is close to it. I am willing to bet money on that.
Pops OD right there.
Oh, God. But this is not going to be it. In fact, he gets clipped, but no follow-up from Mast. He drops the rest of the combo.
Yeah, right
100 meter to go.
Assault.
You have to guess. You have to guess, but it's the wedge
Command
catapult. He goes into Astral.
Way to close out this set, the Astral finish right there, and now Mast taking it 2-0 over Don, moving on to winners finals.
Mast, you beautiful bastard. How you land these things is truly beyond me. Taker 360B is like not even necessarily good, but the invuln is so long that you will just get clipped for like absurd things. Also, I'm going to talk about the JD interaction because not many people may know about this, but when Taker is in overdrive, his drive normals carry armor properties. So they will guard point certain moves depending on the drive move. And I think JD guard points most anything. While Taker is an OD, so that's why he guard pointed through that and still ended up counter hitting Don. JD is kind of a menace when Taker is an OD, and you really want to prevent that from being a possibility with all of your faith and might.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I don't know. That man really dropped the combo and then still found a wedge catapult just to go into Astral. That is quite absurd. But I have to give my hats off to you, Mast, because you got that. You did that. So, like, what can I say?
Yeah, gonna get our next set up. Gonna get Tubazo versus Xcaliburbladez.
Okay, so this is going to be very interesting. I don't know. I'm going to assume that Xcaliburbladez is going to go Rachel for as long as he can in this bracket. But Aerodat is a matchup that can get very, very weird. Like, in my opinion, and maybe this is just a me thing and I'm just embarrassing myself, but I don't really care about doing that. When you pick up a new character, characters like New 13 and Aerodat can be really, really weird to orient yourself around because suddenly you have a whole set of strange interactions to work with. That being said, Rachel JC is one of the normals of all time, as well as Rachel 6A. So, Ego, what's the most fucked up normal you know in a fighting game?
Most fucked up normal in a fighting game.
Yeah, off the top of your head. If you don't have one, that's fine.
I believe there is one. I remember there's a KOF game that has Rio, I believe 5D, and it looks like a simple low. Fun
But it's
fact,
an
that's an
overhead.
overhead.
Oh my
It
god, I remember seeing the post about it. That
looks
one's
like
crazy.
he's kicking you right in the shins, and it is an overhead. So good luck blocking that one.
Yeah. So Rachel 6A, the big fist, that has one-sided hit stop, by the way. One-sided guard point. Now, what does that mean exactly? It means that if you press it, normally when you hit a button in guard point, right? Like both players have the opportunity to cancel out of something or RC or do whatever. Not the case with Rachel 6A. You will basically get put into like the block stop or whatever it's specifically called for that, and you are like not really able to act while Rachel can act, and it's really, really good. And again, characters with very fantastic neutral control as well as anti-airs give Aerodat an absolutely awful time. I haven't even mentioned the lightning rods, because those go to the top of the screen. If they are below Aerodat, he kind of can't move well, like, at all. It's one of those, like, but again, you know, it's a relatively volatile matchup. If Rachel gets cursed, it's same as anybody else. You are having a bad time, but can Aerodat get there, as always, is the question. And with an initial hit like that, that is very much so feasible. Burst coming out there from Xcaliburbladez.
Yeah, using that wind, trying to move right forward and immediately going right back, so close to that curse setup for Tuba.
He's getting caught up in the curse cloud a little bit, so this should be curse coming up very soon. The spider ends up getting it done, and Xcaliburbladez gets clipped in neutral.
Yeah.
The next mix will kill. I'm just going to put it that way. And Xcaliburbladez is going to get hit. It's curse mix. I'm sorry. Like, it is what it is. Tuba, of course, doing pretty good work in getting that and converting properly and playing around the curse really well. The curse clouds, again, for folks that are less familiar, are RNG. He has 3 kinds of curse clouds that can pop up. And when you're playing as Aerodat, you kind of just have to like change up a lot of your neutral depending on which curse cloud you get. There's the JC. You know that little umbrella flap opening up? That button is an absurd air-to-air. You're going to see Xcaliburbladez do that here kind of frequently, depending on how Tuba positions themselves. Oh my god. Catching the landing again? This could end up leading to the round. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, this could be the game. Gets a guard crush right there. Gotta guess
I don't even know if that was a beautiful drop or a happy little reset. Oh my god, that was a cross up. Oh my god, you participated. 6A connects. Oh, you're dead. You're actually just dead. You are actually just finished.
A quick end to our game run right there. Tubazo getting a quick game on the board right here. 1 game closer away from getting on to winners finals.
That is crazy. All right, are we gonna see a character swap or not? That is the question. Will we go to Carl? Will we see
to swap or not to swap? That is the question.
I don't think it's a question no more.
It looks like it is an answer.
I see a little blonde boy with a hat that's the size of his head.
Oh my god. Looks like the question already answered for. Oh no.
Oh, okay. He's lying. I hate these guys. They always lie. They always lie. I can never trust them. Okay, it is the Carl.
It is the Carl.
Jesus Christ. So some of the neutral tools you're going to see come out from Carl, you're going to see 63D a lot. It's going to be the needles that come out from Ada. They police the screen extremely well for Carl. And you might see the bubble, the clap, come out rather frequently. That is also another really active hitbox that Carl can send out to police a lot of Arakune's movement. So we're going to see how Xcaliburbladez tries to orient the doll as well as himself in order to try to clip Tuba in neutral here.
Yeah, starting off with that Volante right there, but
oh my god, he wanted the burst bait so hard.
Okay, is that Chris Cloud once again?
Pro tip, as Aerodat, don't even bother with the burst baits if it's to get cursed. Getting rid of your opponent's burst is already like super big in and of itself, and getting rid of Carl's burst is especially great. This could very well be the round. These are both characters with extremely strong win conditions. Carl, frankly, has much more superior neutral to work with, as well as some pretty decent defensive options, so this can be kind of tough for Aerodat, but Tuba ends up getting themselves out of the corner here, pops the cloud, delaying the air movement there. Curse Super's not going to land whatsoever, but Ada is now down. That's a lot of neutral presence away for Xcaliburbladez.
Yeah, taking away a big part of what makes Carl so good right there. It's a good cut.
You still bursted? You believe in yourself, huh? You believe in yourself a lot.
The hero burst.
There's the clap.
Burst gets clapped right there. Now Xcaliburbladez one round away, tying up our set.
Yeah, so you see, like, because the clap is so active, while Aerodat does like to delay himself in the air and form some very tricky movement, there's just so much screen protection offered by Ada. And so it can be very, very difficult to get out of dodge, so to speak. Right now, Tuba is in a very awful scenario. You are going to deal with getting 50-50. Delay overhead comes in for Xcaliburbladez. Big drop, however, on the follow-up combo.
Yeah, Tuba able to just get away right there. And
oh my god.
He
didn't convert.
There. No conversion,
so rough.
though. Unfortunate, and Xcalibur going to be able to continue this pressure, get right to the corner right here. Going to be a good confirm. Got to guess right here. Back
oh my
throw.
god. That was I'm going to tell you right now, that person does not throw less. That was either the reversal throw of all time, or that was like a, I think you're going to throw me, and he just tried it dead. I'm not going to lie to you.
Another epic
oh my god, last mix.
Right there.
That was really smart for Tuba to go for the fake out right there. This is pretty great. It's a little dangerous, though. Curse Super's not going to work out. OD's through the 2B, but that's not a high recovery normal try to throw. But it's not going to work out here. And now Xcaliburbladez with the character switch takes game 2.
Yeah, rolled right through right there. Being able to just get that counter hit right there and tying up our set. 1-1, one more game. Let's get right back into it. Yeah.
Things are looking pretty decent. Things are looking tough. I'm not going to lie. I lied. Things are looking tough for Tuba right now. I think that there were some pretty solid conversions, and they were able to at least go into their advantage state. But right now, they really are looking a bit unfamiliar, or at least having a hard time maneuvering around Carl's neutral. And it is no easy task, especially for Aerodat. Like, the way that Ada can position herself around Aerodat and make it so awful for him to play neutral, it is extremely tough. And it requires a lot of experience and a bit of reads on the part of the defender to kind of play around the ball. And right now, my god, Xcaliburbladez is truly cleaning up house here. High-low, I don't even know which one it was. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Just being stuck in that pressure for so long. Tuba, unfortunately, going down, and now set point here for Xcaliburbladez. Gotta get anything, gotta try to establish anything. It's like Curse Cloud right there. He closed, but just gets hit right there. Clipped once again with the counter hit. Gonna go right back into the corner. Exactly where Xcaliburbladez wants to. OD popped right there.
And that will force the curse to come out immediately, but Xcaliburbladez just gotta mash throughout all that. That's so much of the curse gauge just gone. Like, Aerodat, I honestly, hold on a second right now. Xcaliburbladez is looking to clean this up. Let's see if he gets the conversion off of the OD cancel. Ada's still disabled. What in the God's name was that combo? I have never seen that. I have genuinely never seen that. What the I swear to God, this guy just does some, like, new stuff every time.
He gets the confirmed kill, though, and will move on 2-1 over Tubazo, going on to winners finals, where he will face Mast.
What a show-off. I like it. Jesus. So, again, that will make up our winners final. So that is going to be Xcaliburbladez versus Mastfam. Ego, I'm going to ask a favor of you right now.
Oh, boy.
I'm asking. It's not a big favor. I'm asking a favor.
Oh, boy.
I have to grab the glass of water. Could you hold it down for the folks here? Folks, please feel free to ask Ego any questions that you have. Or ask me questions. Get your questions in, actually.
Yeah.
I know that Chaotic usually likes to call the Q&A, and he will make fun of me or yell at me for pulling it on here. But I'm going to say, hey, guys, feel free to ask us some questions while I get some water. And I'll be back. We'll yap and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, Ben.
Unfortunately, Fennec, I cannot help you with your calc homework. I suck at math myself, so not going to be able to do that. What I can help you out with is helping you find that Matcherino, put an exclamation point Matcherino, claim those codes, let our players get paid as well. 25 cents helps very much. Favorite dessert? Chocolate cake. What also is sweet? Oh, no, we're going right into the match. I can't even do my ad read anymore.
What happened here?
I said, and doing a little ad read, but they cut me off. Got right back in, got one into the game. We got Tomato versus Danny. That Kagura versus Ragnar gameplay.
I got you. Hold on a second. You got a question. You got a question about, can you help with calc homework? Can you?
I did answer that question. I cannot help with that. And I love the BlazBlue PC port.
Hey, wait. Okay, we do have it's a bit of a, hold on a second here. Okay, there we go. One moment. I think we'll be good to go in a second. I can only assume that there was a quick game crash or something along those lines, but we can carry on and continue on with a little bit of that ad read. Yes? No?
Yeah, so once again, our online weeklies are back this week, and tomorrow we got ourselves some Guilty Gear Accent Core Plus R. If you enjoy watching that game, I tee you up from time to time. Very fun game. And then on Wednesday, of course, we do have Uni 2. Very fun, exciting game. I'm still perusing that game a little bit, who knows. But not to mention as well, our offline monthly is this Saturday, the 19th. We got many games. We got CF at 4 o'clock, Grand Blue as well, Plus R if you're into that. Sorry, not Plus R, MBAC if you like that game as well. Dabbling in that one as well. We got Uni 2, Guilty Gear Strive, Rev 2, Sailor Moon S, and some Plus R.
We got mad games. I'm just gonna put it that way. We got a lot of games. If you play it and y'all wanna do it, feel free to come through. And of course, there's generally enough space to run things on the side if you guys want to do that. So yeah, please feel free to come along. Again, this is going to be the weekend before Climax of Night. So I would say if you are particularly playing French bread games, I would highly encourage you to continue to get that practice in and try to clean up some last minute things. Yeah. Now, I believe we have our players back in. It was not a port problem, surprisingly. Tomato accidentally alt F4, but we are here. And yeah, so this will be Kagura versus Ragnar the Blood Edge. So this will be pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I am very curious. Kagura, again, is a very he just kills you kind of character. So there can be plenty of times in which something silly will happen and then another player just dies. But his neutral sucks. So there is a lot to deal with there. Oh, we got another question from Ankle Gator. You need help. Can you help me find Mai's winning matchups? Kobe's been slandering my character. Yeah, I can show you some of Mai's winning matchups momentarily. You should pick her against Bullet. That matchup is really good for you. It's really good.
My answer to that question is pick a cooler character. Anyways,
Mai's cool. Mai has cool stuff. Look, that character does have sauce. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching some of Masa, the Japanese Mai player, earlier today with some folks. That character has some sauce. I'm not gonna lie. She really does. But we'll talk about that momentarily. We got some other characters on the screen here at the moment. Lots of IEDs coming in from Oni right there, and that will help him get it. Whoa, that's still safe jump the flash kick. I genuinely thought I was gonna see Ragnar continue his pressure, and he just stood still suddenly. I got really confused.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of damage right there. 4.2.
Not quite going to kill. Oh my god.
Went for an interesting DP right there.
It was a bad DP. We can call it a bad DP. We can call it a spade a spade. The OD DP was pretty wild work. I'm not gonna lie, because Tomato had just earlier backdash to show like a willingness to bait out the DP on his Oki, right? And if you are making a hard call out like that in BlazBlue, like that is very, very telling of what your current priorities are when you are running your offense. We're gonna see a big fatal route coming in here from this hit. Night Kasu extension too. Ooh. A little dip in the chin. He dropped the rest of the combo, but that was still pretty sick.
Yeah, now Tomato being able to establish his offense right there, just coming out with there's that little fireball right there. JC from Danny.
So the big
the 6B.
The big difficulty for Tomato right there in terms of his offense is that he positioned himself such that he could make his 2Cs land and not have to deal with like a dash up 5B from Ragnar. But the problem is that it also mitigates a lot of Tomato's powerful options. He has no lows at that range. And if you send out an orb from that, and if you send out an orb at that distance, it's a lot easier for players to react to it and move accordingly. Nice command grab mix slipped in there, but not quite there on the conversion. The instant overhead does indeed whiff on the OD activation. This is going to be a good amount of health back for Oni, as well as corner to corner.
Yeah, getting right to the corner right here. Let's see what we got. Just pressing that
Strike
strike though. Gets the low. Burst
I
right
love
there.
the delay though. Low. So it can be really tough sometimes to deal with flash kicks by using lows, in that you are timing a true string low such that you catch somebody thinking that they're out of block stun and trying to hold up. A lot of times, you just got to go with the very, very basic anti-flash kick measures and just tap somebody on the head with an overhead to ruin their charge input.
Yeah,
So it can be a little tough. That being said, that first game does in fact go in favor of Tomato. So I'm curious to see what happens next. I think if Oni can kind of deal with defending against Kagura a little better, honestly, that is kind of like the big key right now. Everything else seems to be firing off well enough. It's just that there are times where you just get clipped by Kagura and you truly will just eat a grip of damage. And with a low health character like Ragna, it can be rather tough.
Yeah, Tomato establishing that offense. So there's an OD pop right there. Will
Oh
that
my god, he's
kill?
dead. Yeah, he's dead. He's actually
Ragna health?
turbo
Most
dead.
definitely.
Well, it's also the fact that motherfucker ate 6.6k. He died.
Most definitely.
That was a big hit. You too see that round start? Fool that you are. Oh my god.
Counter hit 5B right there. Gonna lead to some good damage for Danny right here into the corner. 4.5. Just immediately gonna go into the strike though. 2A into a whiff throw right there. Went for a flash kick. That's gonna be a fatal counter starter right there. Gonna be some good damage. Well, unless you drop it.
What a major drop. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of appreciate Tomato calling that out. He called it out with his chest. I can't front. All right, now DP again. Thank you.
Went for a throw right there. Gets clipped once again.
Oh my god, this man is getting clipped by so much. And neutral backdash and away, move out of
Oh,
the way. Thank you.
OD's
I'm
right
coaching
there.
him. He can't hear me. I'm coaching him. I swear. I know these things. Trust me. I play this game. I think I'm good at this game. Oh, hi, Days. We appreciate the raid. Thank you guys thank you for coming along. I need to play. It's been like ages. I don't know if you're still playing BlazBlue, if you're gonna be on City of the Wolves when that drops. Anywho, right now we are in the loser side of our top 8 bracket so far. It's Oni versus Tomato. Tomato, of course, is up a game right now.
And a good confirm right there. Just goes for a reset.
Oh my
Flash kick
God.
right through there.
I am
fireball out.
surprised. I don't know if that was a misinput on the 2D or what have you. Burst comes out as soon as it's available. Otherwise, Tomato would have died. And the Hell's Fang quota for Ragnas is fulfilled. Danny does indeed get his game.
Yeah. Danny tying it up 1-1. Going to our last game right here. Let's see what the...
But yeah, this has been pretty close thus far. And I am
Yeah.
very curious to see how this goes.
Very, very back and forth set that we've had so far. Trades right there. Gonna get a good start. I'm gonna get something good for Danny right there. Speed confirming right there. Gonna be able to go to the corner right there.
Oh my god, that's a blue beat! Stop believing in people's combos, bro. You have to think that I'm okay. And I know I've been swearing a little bit on this cast, but you have to believe that they're ass, man. You just have to. Hold the tech button. Trust me, you will get out of some random drops. I can assure you. Oh, that's a deep run up. 2A, lots of counter hits though. Oni having a hard time anti-airing. 6A finally does connect. Pops active form as well. This is looking pretty good. Honestly, one more hit will be Fafnir of the gods. One more hit will do it for either player at this point. Command grab comes in. Burst comes out from Danny. He's putting it all on the line, and let me tell you, he lost a lot of money.
Gotta now put up the deep to your house down now if you want to maybe get anything back here. The Gauntlet AD's right there. Gonna be a good confirm. Bring him right to the wall right here.
Yeah, as long as Oni pops active flow, honestly, his burst gauge will be happy and healthy, but who knows at this point. Kagura does have a decent amount of health, so you can beat him up for a little bit, but just given that, like, how some things have gone awry, especially with the B flash kick, it's been tough for Oni to, like, truly get things meaningfully started. We're back into neutral for the time being. arcsys afterwards, clipped by the low. And I believe active flow should be triggering rather soon, probably on a throw if Oni decides to opt for it. But at this point, not much burst gauge to get. There's the throw. There's the active flow. Man, I know this video game.
Yeah, and now immediately getting ourselves to a last game, last round right here.
Dog. I know you've watched Aerodat Hell's Fang from I don't know, California to Serbia, but the way that it's working for Oni and stuff. Hold on a second, he's actually dying. We'll talk about.
And you're dead.
He's actually
Goodbye.
dead. He's dead. He's dead. Anyway.
Oh, man, he dropped it. Never mind.
God, I see what I mean. You have to think that these players are ass, man. You just have to believe that they're gonna drop.
Ass until proven good.
Basically. And the Hell's Fang right there, catching the fuzzy jump attempt from Tomato. Good on Oni.
Catches him right there, and a burst bait gets a kill.
Dog, that wasn't even. I'm not going.
I don't even think that was a burst bait.
It wasn't a bait. It wasn't a bait. It was literally just the spacing. It was just the spacing.
Yeah.
That was absurd. I don't even know how to talk about it, dog. That was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Anywho, that's 2-1 for Tomato, and Oni is dead and gone.
Very exciting set right there, back and forth the whole way through.
I keep watching my friends fumble, man. Please let me be the only fumbler. Please, 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 please. Oh, this is gonna be Fyre versus Guymam. This should be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if he will try to go Kagura against Naoto, because it is rough.
Yeah. Of course, the Noel. I don't know how much better of a matchup that is. One I don't think I've ever seen before, actually.
Please select your character.
But.
So let me see. Okay, so obviously there's the Naoto for Guy, but there's a lot of pros and cons for either of Kagura or Noel, but I'm very curious to see how this will end up panning out. Naoto, quite frankly, gets to schmoove on Kagura really, really cleanly, and access to a DP as good as his can lead to Kagura having a bad time, and Naoto's OD routing leads to a lot of damage, and Kagura is already quite vulnerable to overdrive in general when used defensively. Oh, you tried to do some sauced up route. I see the vision. Oh my god, so this is about to be like 6k, by the way.
Yeah, Naoto, another character.
Oh my god, you did the 5C link?
Can do so much damage.
Oh, my fault. Sorry, only 5.1.
Gets a throw right
He's
there,
dead,
though.
That's it. That's the round. Like,
Yeah,
that's the tweet.
However, and he dropped it. Commentators curse a beautiful thing.
Why are you saying it's a beautiful thing when it comes at my expense? Why do you do this?
I think for the people at home who get to enjoy it, it's quite nice. Nice counter hit right there, and a DP right through.
This stuff is crazy, dog. I swear to God.
Hey, like you said, just gotta assume the players are ass. However, I don't believe any of these two are ass, and a good confirm from Guymam right there.
No, none of the players. These guys are solid players.
Nice flash kick right there, though.
Oh my God. All right, and again, the B flash kick is such a powerful. Whoa! You just threw him trying to do 6D A or B. Good God. That button is not necessarily good, but I was shocked by the throw. Oh my God.
Got him doing
DP
a DP, but no punish. RC right there, gonna be a confirm.
I am in love with that delay low. That was so good. Altering the pressure and staggering it so it could catch a potential DP input or it catches a fuzzy jump. I really, really love the staggers from Fyre. That 5B does so much work for Kagura in enforcing a quick low at a close range. So you can see really, really good Kaguras will use it in really cool ways. And That right there from Fyre was one of them.
Yeah, tying up this game right here. Gets a throw punish right here. Let's see what we got.
It's just going to be a smooth like 3.4 or 3.7, sorry. Well, 3.1 because it was dropped. I will stop saying this at some point.
It's a good confirm right here. Gonna do a good chunk of damage right here.
4K. Good God.
Oh, and another counter hit right there. Burst out though.
Okay, we're chilling.
Out, coming out. Throw.
We're not chilling. We're not chilling. Okay, things are no longer fine. And yeah, Guymam has been dropping the Sway Dash cancels there. I'm not too sure what's going on, but I think at this point, when you're this deep in the tournament and those things keep dropping, you have to just give. Whoa!
Air throw right there and burst right there.
That was not a normal decision. What the?
He's with an RC counter hit right there. That should be the game. Yes, it is.
That was baffling. I am genuinely like in awe, confused at what I just saw on the screen. Holy crap.
Yeah, getting to our game 2 right here. Exciting
Dog,
game.
you are so calm when you see some insane things. You're mad calm when you see it. I don't know how. You should be looking at this like it's your average day. Yep, this happened. Life is good. I think I'm going to eat some potatoes. Oh my God!
Blue though right there. No.
That was a TRM. It was TRM. It's because it was TRM. Yeah, it was TRM. So it'll still show up as a blue beat. The game will lie to you a little bit there. Oh God!
Hit right there.
I like the adjustment in that routing. That was some pretty good stuff. Yeah, keeping it simple by going for the Sway Dash Rekka instead of the Sway Dash Phantom Pain.
Flash kick right there.
Oh my God!
Charging
I don't know what he
straight
pressed.
through. So fireball gonna be a good route that right here gonna do.
This is corner carry into 4K.
A lot of damage right here.
He is
DP right there, sending it. Flash kick once again.
God. What will you do with a man with a big sword holding down back?
You're gonna reversal super right there and get the kill.
Oh, that was wild. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's see what we have come up next. Is he gonna hit a C normal? Yep. Sometimes you just feel it, like the round start backup 5C from Kagura's, but in this case being 6E. Good OD on wake up.
There.
It's really important to show some of those ODs on wake ups in order to make your opponent a bit more afraid to use some of their stronger mix up options. 6A is not even necessarily like an insane overhead, but it is still potent. Oh my God. Fyre ended up dialing in the 5JB there, which resulted in a far less damaging punish than what he would have gotten if he fully committed to the DP bait.
Yeah, gonna be a good.
This will nearly kill. This is a next touch kill scenario.
A lot of damage. DP's right through though.
Oh my God! Tech trap.
Oh, went for a flash
out
kick
the
right
flash.
there. Nobody home.
All right, just Astral this man, please. Thank you.
Gets the Astral, ties up our set right here. 1-1.
I'm not gonna lie, now to Astral you know that one meme of Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin looking at the mask in that Spider-Man movie?
Yes.
That is Sway Dash Astral for Naruto. But that Astral is like one of the easiest to confirm. Like, it's kind of stupid. You can literally do 5A Astral in that combos. You can do 5A A Astral in that combos. Like, you can do anything in that, and we'll combo into it. It's kind of nuts, but instead, it's the genuine crackhead energy of Sway Dash Astral. That thing, it calls to people. I know it because I've done it. That being said, ooh, I like the JD there. A little too high off the ground in order to convert meaningfully from it, and the 2D8 surprisingly connects there.
Yeah. Trying to cross up right there. DP's gonna get punished right there. Gonna be a lot of damage.
It will be, but I'm surprised that Fyre didn't go for a C normal starter. Regardless, 5K is 5K.
Yeah. That catches.
Oh my God, that crosses up
right there and gets a kill. Now on set point for Fyre.
That shouldn't cross up because there shouldn't be anything that pulls Naruto in. But regardless, that was disgusting.
Yeah, Guymam now just running his offense once again. Get right back to the corner here.
Let's check the knockdown. Doesn't end up getting the DP ender, but things are looking fine. Solid extension, but this combo's not going to deal a ton of damage. And it's still a soft knockdown. Flash kick is ever possible. Oh my god.
It is right there. Baited that one right out. Gonna get a nice confirm right here. Shouldn't kill, but is still gonna do a lot of damage.
Oh my god. He keeps dropping the Phantom Pains, man. It's not there. You have to accept when you got to do the tournament routing. It sucks, but
right there.
It is what it is. Phantom Pain, however, finally coming out. Smasher in to finish the job. That's going to be set point for both players.
Yeah. Right. Uno in both the games and the rounds. Gonna see in this round 3 what we got right here. Clips him right out of the air. Gonna be a good launcher. Gonna be a lot of damage. Oh, 4K
coming in. Dog, it's Kagura. That man hits you from most ranges, and if you see the word counter on the screen, you jack up the price by like 500 at least.
The price is right with Kagura damage.
Oh, he's gonna throw him. Please throw him. I feel the throw in my soul. Actually, he's not
goes
he's not
low,
a kind of guy.
and
this isn't the command grab Kagura.
Where's face there?
Alright, what is your mix?
There,
You gonna surfboard?
No.
Okay, good pickup. Right there. Still not able to fully convert. You can see some of the hesitation looking for the flash kick. Not able to get the full confirm, sadly, due to the... That was a weird hit, I'm not gonna lie.
He gets a throw. And be able to just continue that offensive nice confirm right
Finally
there.
got the Phantom Pain. But he didn't get the enhanced DP.
Oh
my god.
Got
Jason from the heavens.
The Astral.
Oh no. That is rough. That was definitely meant to be Sway Dash Astral. Yeah. I'm going to assume that was Sway Dash Astral, and it didn't come out.
Trying to bait something right there.
Yeah,
and unfortunately...
That was truly a stun or die moment. Most unfortunate for Guymam. And we now have our losers quarters established. It's going to be Dawn versus JustATomato, and it's going to be Tuba versus Fyre.
Yeah, I think the first match we're going to get here, Dawn and Tomato.
Oh, what's happening here? Oh, oh, ankle. Okay, hold on. Just open up training mode. Notice that bullet 2B low profile is my 5A bullet down player shaking my head. All right, I'm gonna ask you to do this. I want you to have bullet do 5B on your wake up, and I want you to do wake up 2A, and I want you to just believe in yourself because it will low profile because my low profile is bullet 5B with 2A. And then you get to flip on top of that if bullet does 2B. Yes, it is that good. It is really, really good. Please don't make me complain about bullet. I'm trying to have a nice, good vibe.
Nice.
Good vibes, good time. I'm going to watch good old blazblue violence.
Yeah.
I want that. I need that.
I need that. We need that. Anyways,
seriously.
This is quarters. Dawn, Tomato. Another curious matchup. Kagura, Relius.
This is another matchup that sucks for Kagura. Basically, like, because Relius is such a neutral dominant characters that have a harder time dealing, that have a weak neutral will naturally allow Relius to transition into his offense very, very consistently. And because Kagura also can't really threaten Relius at higher ranges very much, like, he kind of just gets to back up, as you see there, and just recharge Ignis, and then just walk up and be like, oh right, I am playing the video game. So it can be rather tough for Kagura to get in. Now, naturally, if Relius gets hit, very poor defensive options from, like, out of block stun and on wake up. Only has a reversal super to his name, and his jab is pretty middling. But it's just Kagura getting there and keeping that is tough.
Yeah, it's a good starter right there. Gonna do a lot of damage right here. About 4K, I believe? No,
not quite. Almost, though. Next hit kills. Counter assault comes out from Dawn, sends out the wheel. He's probably going to do a BIOS if he has to play neutral for a little longer. I'm going to tell you right now.
Counter assault of their own right here.
Sends out the wife to hold out the neutral, and Ignis is nearly disabled. Probably going to be a burst or an OD, yeah. Very good. Right, now, Dawn can't be disabled while Relius is an OD, but when it ends, however, she will in fact die. And Tomato, playing it very patiently with the B flash kick, will end up winning the war against Dawn. Smart plays.
Yeah, Tomato getting that first game on the board, throws out the fireball right there.
Oh, that was such a huge delay on the 5DA. That was bold. Early flash kicks proving quite useful for Tomato so far. What was that, JC?
Yeah.
That genuinely blew me away. Oh my god.
Burst right there from Tomato, trying to go right through, charge right in, nothing there.
But the problem with Wyvern is that Ignis is not considered to be a projectile. Wyvern is will beat projectiles, but because Ignis is not coded as that, you can still get clipped for your troubles if Ignis gets sent out. So it can be very, very tough to contest with their counter assaults. Yeah, Dawn looking for it with the spin. Doesn't end up coming through. Probably going to be dual BIOS off of this knockdown. Tried to go for the 4D. Hitting Ignis just a little more. Dawn has to play this neutral without Ignis, otherwise it could get very disastrous. Sets up the dual BIOS last second, but a smart flash kick RC from Tomato gets him out of dodge. Still plenty of meter for Dawn. He might just set up another dual BIOS if he finds an opportunity. And frankly, it would be a checkmate scenario. But look at how Tomato's patient play has resulted in Dawn spending so much of the Ignis gauge. While Tomato still lost the round, he got so much doll gauge out of Dawn for free.
Yeah. A smart play there from Tomato, but Dawn picking up the win, getting the burst right there.
For Tomato, that's fantastic. This knockdown, not so much, but again, look at the Ignis gauge. D-summon likely coming up soon. Forcibly off the screen, in fact, with the B flash kick. Looking for maybe a counter assault. Tomato trying to play it patiently. Oh my god, you thought you were going to get hit. That had to have been a burst. Or you just thought you got to OD afterwards. Unfortunately, the OD doesn't end up doing much for Tomato here.
Yeah, super's right there, but gets clipped right there.
That is not a reversal super. Well, actually, it's like, what, frame 2 or frame 3 or whatever. It has some invuln, but it is not very good. I don't know if Tomato ended up, like, riding the gates or something, or something along the lines, and that's why that came out instead of maybe, like, a C flash kick, but that is rough. You normally are not looking for a Rindo there.
Yeah, Dawn getting that first game on the board. Sticking to it. Looks like we're gonna get right back into it. No
yeah, we're chilling out at 1-1.
I believe it's only 1-0. I think that was the first game.
All good, all good. Let me see. Let's see what comes up here at this round start. We've seen some plays from both Dawn and Tomato work out well. There is some strategy at play here. It really is coming down to some of the scrambles and some of the remaining neutral interactions. Lifeless neutral for Dawn, and he manages to recover the Ignis gauge very cleanly. Nice job from Tomato swiping it, and a beautiful overdrive. That was such good work. By disabling the doll, it means that you don't have to deal with Ignis when you pop your OD, and that lets Tomato get so much damage early on in this round against Dawn, and that's really important to establish.
Yeah, clipping right there as well. 4.5k right there, but now Dawn establishing some more neutral right there. Gets the crush trigger right there. Gonna be a good confirm right here. Immediately got a guess right here, block and row.
Good defense from Tomato. And look at how much threatening the down back and the flash kick has done for Tomato. Forcing Dawn to completely back up all the way into neutral just to summon Ignis safely. And while Dawn does have the advantage in neutral, that's still massive for Kagura, especially when a Kagura is stuck in the corner like that. This, however, it would have been disastrous and likely led to a dual BIOS, but Tomato, without repositioning himself, puts him in a very bad spot. Still manages to flash kick out of there, but a really weird corner steal. I don't know if Ignis provided some collision, and that's part of the reason why Rally is kind of slaughtered himself right in that area.
Yeah, no. Now Dawn on set point here. Tomato trying to do anything just to even this up, but a good clip right there. Gonna be able to establish more pressure for Dawn. Gets clipped right there, and now we're in the corner. Gotta guess even more right here after this confirm.
It's the hard knockdowns for Relius that really allow him to run true mix-ups. Ordinarily, you're dealing with some pretty decent strike throw, but otherwise, once he gets a hard knockdown, that's when it starts getting a little messy into guesses, especially when you got dual bios to deal with. It's time to guess, friends. Overhead finally does connect, pops the OD in order to keep it burst safe. This route will indeed lead to a kill, and Don will take it 2-1 over Tomato.
Yeah, an easy 2. I believe that was a 2-0 right there. Just so dominant in that game right there. Now,
so things are looking pretty solidly here as we are moving along this bracket pretty damn quickly. I won't lie. We're moving along quite nicely. We do have more potential Kagura coming up here with Tuba versus Fyre. I honestly don't know what Fyre would go with here. I don't know if he wants Noel's movement to deal with Arakune trying to maneuver around the screen, or if he highly values certain tools like Kagura 5A as well as Kagura B Flash Kick, which are very potent anti-airs for negating some of Arakune's confusing aerial movement.
yeah.
I don't know.
I guess we're gonna see.
You want to guess?
I think we're gonna see the Kagura, I believe, first. Okay. And if it doesn't work out, I think we might see a character swap.
I think he's gonna stick to the Kagura. I'm not gonna lie. I like this. We don't agree, and that's good. Genuinely.
Good to have some disagreements, of course.
Yeah.
The world would be a lot worse place if we all agreed on some things. But what we can agree on though, we got some good ass blazblue going on right now.
Yep, that is for sure. Now let's see what the round start is. I would expect Fyre to try to play a little defensively and maybe set up an orb or so, but that does end up giving Tuba some opportunity to set up a Curse Cloud. The JC from Kagura does end up resulting in pretty good conversion after the fact. So we're looking at some pretty solid damage here, and it's all in Fyre to try to just kill this blob immediately.
Yeah.
Ooh! 6A B Flash Kick, no RC. That's a lost sauce these days. People are not super good at that.
Yeah,
that was really impressive stuff. And my God.
A perfect in our first round here, this set right here. Fyre looking so dominant right there.
Yo, Fyre, you trying to get us out of here early or what's going on? Curse Cloud setup. There's some of the B Flash Kicks coming in. It doesn't end up connecting, but it's still very, very good to put out there. Curse is at about 50%. If Tuba pops OD, that's a lot of timer for him to work with, but we'll see if that even bothers coming to pass. Oh my God, you mashed there? Incredible. And it's Curse.
Of course. Can't block forever. Just gonna see how long he can do it for, and
it's not very long. It's never a matter of if you will block the Curse, it's a matter of how long will it take.
Yeah. Immediately getting out right there. Gonna be a good damage study right there.
I am shocked at that. I think Fyre maybe messed up the charge on a B Flash Kick, and that's why it didn't come out after the 5DC, but this has gone from bad to worse for Fyre. You're dying. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna die. It's a matter of how.
Yeah, there it is, tying up the game right here. 1-1 Tuba.
Yeah, that match was insane. I'm not gonna lie, that was crazy.
Goes low right there, and immediately gonna be a good starter right here. Gonna do a bunch of damage, but immediately bursts.
Now, Tuba is forced into the corner. You can see that Fyre is not really trying to engage super quickly, but it rather is very comfortable with using some of Kagura's C normals in order to like lock out a Tuba from some of their movement. I like the OD routing here. This will lead to a kill. Excellent job from Fyre right there, cleaning that up. When you lose around a Curse the way that he did earlier, it's Tilt City. But I feel like from watching Fyre, he has had a generally great attitude when it comes to playing in bracket, and that really let him push on through and take that first game.
Yeah, going immediately right back into it. Gonna see how Tuba can overcome that stifling offense from Fyre in that first game. Immediately getting a clip in the air right there. Immediately set up right there. Gets the insects right here.
Okay, so Fyre opts to burst. Does not want to deal with any Curse whatsoever. Can't blame him. But now, you see, Fyre is trying to like stay at mid-screen because when Arakune is at the wall, he does have access to a teleport that will swap sides. So Fyre wanted to kind of maintain like a decent spacing to prevent that from happening. but unfortunately, because Kagura is truly very slow, it is tough for him to kind of like weave back and forth in that spacing. And all from that little teleport and Tuba getting out of the way. Curse popped, dead Kagura, that's a round gone.
Yeah, immediately right there. So we go for it. There's a fireball right there. A 5's kick right there.
Oh my god. That was 5DC, dog. That was a bold
What's going
5DC.
on here?
5DC is pretty big, so there are times in which Fyre is trying to use it to police some of the neutral. In that instance, it didn't end up working so hot, and this is going from bad to worse.
Let's see how long.
No matter how long you can block. Clipped by a couple of 6As, but by and large, for Curse, that is no. That wasn't even a confirmed from a burst bait. He literally just looked at him and said, "Damn, that's crazy," and then 6-8 again. That was absurd.
Curse once again, and that is going to kill, and immediately, quickly bringing us to a game 3 in our set right here, 1-1.
You know what even did him in right there for the last mix? That was just a 2A. That was the 2A low. He just slipped it. He went tick and snipped it in there. And that is what led to the last mix-up killing. Oh, thank you for the raid, big boy Fargo. Appreciate that. Nice to see more folks coming in for some BlazBlue. Thank you very much.
Back on the character select.
I don't think he's going to swap, but he probably wants to take a second to just think.
Yeah, take some deep breaths a little bit, just think over what you can do. Went to the Noel very quickly. Are we gonna see the Noel? We are. Okay.
Oh I'm just wrong. Damn. Alright, so let's see what we get here. Noel has a much harder time dealing with anti-airing Aerodat, because she truly just lacks a lot of the huge buttons. She does have some great air-to-airs. You know, JB is solid. JC is pretty great. As JC ends up whiffing, that sucks. But genuinely speaking, I'm not too sure. I think Fyre. I know Fyre typically likes to switch characters in certain matchups, but I am not too sure how it will pan out for him here. We see him trying to play really aggressively and maneuver around, but Tuba feels a lot more comfortable dancing around Noel, despite her being faster, which is a little ironic when you think about it.
Yeah, and now got that curse as well. Beat right there. Gets out right there. Prowl long. Immediately there's that curse call once again.
Anytime somebody mashes during curse, I understand that they're a madman, and I cannot trust them, and so I must do a safe jump every time. And hitting JC while in curse is wild. Fyre hasn't landed really any big hit. This truly has just been a series of skirmishes for him after he took a lot of damage from that initial curse. I like the 2As there, trying to police some of the movement. 5C anti-air connects, and that will be the round for Tuba. He even tried to RC to double check for burst.
Yeah, immediately now set point here for Tuba. And Fyre trying to find anything right here. Be backing up right there.
4D's not going to work out for him, but at the very least, not punished very heavily. The OD will lead to some pretty solid corner carry, and by solid, I mean we're literally going coast to coast. Sorry, it's really freaking good. I'll be very clear. Active flow as well, so that does help, but when you pop OD against Aerodat, you are basically making a bet that you can kill him, and that you do not need to burst a potential B&B into curse. And so that will be pretty difficult for Fyre to deal with, especially because curse is looking inbound, but the JD somehow, some way slips itself in.
Yeah, gonna do some damage right there.
Counter assault or nah? There it is.
Went for an RC. There's the counter assault right there. There's
curse
as
established.
Gotta guess right
and you
there.
Still JD'd? I hate Noel JD. I remember playing this game in Chrono Phantasma. I ate so many Noel JDs and so many 4Ds. I felt I was a scrub and I was getting absolutely filtered.
It was
rough in those streets. Different times.
No,
Double 5Z.
Oh, much better character back in that game. However,
oh no, this is rough. This is a little rough.
Yeah,
this is a little rough.
Curse right there. Clip right here. Gotta guess right here. Mashing once again.
I feel like, you know, the end of the Joker when it's like the Joker movie when it's like you're doing this and you're laughing. Like I'm feeling like that. Like Fyre truly is willing to just mash in a lot of these scenarios. You're gonna OD soon, yeah? Oh my god, I love that backdash. That backdash made love to neutral. I'm not gonna lie, that was crazy.
Oh, 4D there, catching.
He tried to throw, it didn't end up working out. This is pretty decent. Oh, converting immediately into the curse bugs. That is a pretty wild decision. Things are gonna look pretty decent. Tuba's just trying to scramble around and just get curse quickly. He needs to find an opportunity to get another curse cloud out there because the current one isn't very viable for him. Mashing a couple of buttons, stuck in neutral. Counter hit for their troubles. Fyre needs to seal this in the bag. I don't know if an OD confirm will get it done yet, though.
Yeah, just not enough right there.
Oh, that's such a good curse cloud. That's a great curse cloud.
Get right there, super.
Oh my god, he clipped him!
Yes, it will.
That was so good! Fyre bet it all on that aerial super, hoping that Tuba would end up landing into it. The benefit to it, too, is that if it made contact on block, Fyre would have been able to RC and back off. But that was an extremely risky play to get it done. Yeah, that wasn't even... I don't even think that was teleport. I think that was dive outright that ended up, like, clipping them there. That was really, really sick from Fyre. And that will keep themselves alive in this bracket. Now, they do have to deal with a loser semis match against Dawn, which is not going to be easy by any means, folks. Again, we still have our winners semis set up here, and or rather, our winners finals. Let me put some respect on these guys' names. This will be Xcaliburbladez on the Carl against Mastfam on the Taker. Or maybe Excalibur sticks to Rachel. I don't know. Rachel Taker does sound pretty funny for Rachel. I don't know.
Yeah. An interesting matchup both ways you look at it.
I'm gonna put it this way.
It's bad both ways, I'd say.
It's horrible. Yeah, it's horrible for Taker, whether it's the Carl or it is the Rachel. The way that Rachel can police neutral and negate a lot of Taker's movement is really, really, really good. Like, Wind as a concept just looks at Taker and goes like, why do you exist? So it can be very tough. Carl, similar-ish story in terms of his ability to delay air dash during his mix, as well as the doll's ability to simply just control neutral and stop Taker from acting in many ways. Like, Taker already has a difficult time moving around, and so things like Super Jump JC, which normally is a way for Taker to move, can get clipped by Brio or Clap. So it can be rather tough. Rather tough. That being said, we've seen Mass do some rather insane things.
Yeah, nothing is out of the question, of course. Let me see how this starts right here, this first game. See what options we got right here. Mass just starting to down back right there.
Ends up armoring through, but because he committed to the rest of Sledge, he gets hit. And it's time for Carl's win condition, folks.
Time to guess which. Gotta guess the mix as well. But immediately Mass getting out right there. Gonna be a
side
good
swap
start
opportunity.
right there.
Doesn't opt for any gadget finger. Goes for the safe JB instead. Tries to armor through, but because Ada 4D does like armor through like multiple normals, like that was very, very good. So ends up going in favor of Excalibur with a quick fuzzy. You might not have seen it, but that was an instant JA that happened just a second ago. And let me tell you, folks, if Xcaliburbladez wins, expect to see that very frequently. Just 50-50 corner mix over and over again. Taker's 360A and 360B are not as useful because of Ada's ability to meaty Taker and just score a counter hit anyway. And it's just genuinely extremely tough. Mast has to like play the resource game or find a way to draw out a lot or get a lot of meter from IBing. Like IBing against Carl is really, really good. Simply for the fact that you gain enough meter to counter assault and you force him to like make more complex decisions. It's not fantastic, but it genuinely is something.
Yeah, Mass now just getting out of the corner, but immediately gonna get right back to where we started. Now gotta guess one more time. There's Volante right there.
And
720.
This is gonna deal like half of his health, but it's still very much so in Carl's favor. Anti-Air 2C does connect, and a quick bubble will get the rest of the job done.
Yeah, this first game on the board really quickly for Xcaliburbladez. I'm gonna real quick, gonna go right. I'm taking time a little bit.
Pretty tough stuff. But yeah, let me see. We're gonna get not too long of a wait for Mast. I think he kind of had a quick thought and was like, all right, I'm gonna get back into this. But again, for Taker, this is just it's extremely difficult, and you have to truly understand how Carl functions as a character and truly understand your opponent and like their general behaviors in order to like maneuver around Carl properly as Taker. And you can very well just lose anyway.
Yeah, jumping over Volante right there, immediately going to establish some pressure right here.
Those are the 6B. Sparkbolt is available, catching a backdash. Already a much better start for Mastfam.
Armors through Volante right there, but immediately does get caught back in the corner here. Let's see, you got a guess right here.
2D mix, yeah, you're not allowed to mash. I'm going to tell you that right now. You are not allowed to mash on 2D Yoki. Eat this mix, by the way.
Yeah, tried backdashing and nowhere. Immediately gets clipped once again, Sparkbolt.
Okay. Ducks under the Brio, but not too much coming up next. Doll is disabled, though. This is fantastic for Mast. This is one of his few opportunities to really get something going, and he might just have to charge for Sparkbolt, honestly. You can see Excalibur trying to poke with lows in order to beat the guard point on the charging property there, but now the Doll's back up, and it's time to play neutral. 720 or full tech?
No, not for full tech.
Season to the low. Oh my god.
360.
Sneaky.
And I guess right there, there's another 360. That's
All
right
it takes
here.
is one more. Is he going to jump for it? No.
Sparkbolt.
Plays it
Volante
patiently.
right there, jumps right over.
Oh no. Rhapsody of Memories.
Just not there. Matt's going to get around on the board.
Ay, ay, ay. And again, it truly is a war of attrition for Mast here. If he can set that up properly, play defensively, and gain his meter and resources and force more of them out of Excalibur, he's got a fighting chance. And with some of the neutral displayed right there, he's certainly able to do it. It's just a matter of can he keep that up and what adjustments will Excalibur bring to the table.
Yeah, some good confirms right there. Vs Volante trying to establish something, gets clipped by it.
Sparkbolt's available, but Ada will in fact eat it. There it is. You see that interaction where the Sparkbolt beats the Volante, but Ada eats it. Magnetism still on Carl, however. I think maybe Carl got clipped in the hitbox or something of the sort, but still, it's going to be very tough. Doll once again disabled, or nearly disabled. Likely, we're going to see a CT come up from Xcaliburbladez soon in order to keep the Doll gauge rather high. Instant overhead with the rising JA here. Mast might have to pop a burst or OD. Might not even do nothing at all. You don't wake up 720, right? Yeah. Excalibur backs off properly to account for both of those reversal options.
OD's right
OD comes
there.
out, though.
Kills
Doll's
the doll.
disabled. Chance. And it's going to be difficult for Mast. He can opt to just charge Sparkbolt, given how much Xcaliburbladez is opting to back off. Nearly a negative penalty, in fact.
Oh, gets a confirm
my
right
God.
there.
He's not dead, but this literally is the guess for game. What is it going to be?
Right there. Got Sparkbolt as
Sparkbolt
well.
back up. Rhapsody Blades is set up. 10 seconds left on the clock. If Mast blocks this, he didn't block it out. He's not going to burst you, yeah? Oh my god.
OD?
Atomic Collider. No!
Sparkbolt.
The Sparkbolts! Excaliburbladez didn't move back fast enough for Ada to body block the Sparkbolt. That was so intelligent. Because, okay, so this is basically what happened here. Xcaliburbladez wanted to air backdash because that gets him out of the way of the Atomic Collider. And then on top of that, gets him out of the way of Voltec. Then he doesn't even have to deal with the 720, potentially clipping him. But because Mast had built up enough meter and because the Volante didn't come out sooner, Volante didn't end up hitting Meaty. So then Mast was able to use the Sparkbolt to beat the Volante and still clip Excaliburbladez at the last second to snipe the win. Really clever. That takes an insane amount of situational awareness to like pull off. I need you to understand that. Or Mast is insane.
Burst
Probably
right
both,
there.
honestly.
Gets the command grab right here immediately. Setup goes low. OD of their own, and an
Oh,
immediate another command grab.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
have
You
to
gotta
guess
tilt
right.
him. He's, oh my god. I don't know if Excalibur's gonna be tilted after this or not. This is crazy. If 2B. 2C connects. Doll sure to send him all the way off to the corner. Now this is tough. You have to just IB for a ton of meter here. You gotta get enough for a counter assault, but the ways in which Xcaliburbladez is willing to use these instant JAs to just clap Mastfam and stop him from even blocking for a moment is nuts. This loop is crazy, by the way. Super. Not gonna kill quite yet. Double super. Almost
That
enough. Yeah, there it
kills.
is. Jesus. He had to squeeze that lemon out.
Yeah, and immediately go into our round 2. Let's see what we got right here. Gives we're a little bit of stomp right there.
And yeah, you see the 4D coming up. Xcaliburbladez is placing Ada in such a way that 4D is able to guard point, sledge, and thus beat it. And right now, Mass is having a difficult time kind of positioning himself around it. Again, oh my god, Konanima, what a smart play. That will guard point through everything. So by setting that up, he can then guard point against sledge and, in fact, net a nice counter hit for their trouble. Might back off for Ada here. Summons her, wants to just charge up the doll gauge, is willing to take the trade in resources. In fact, punishes Mastfam for daring to try to get Spark Bolt up.
Yeah, and killing right there. And now going up 2-1 a nice set. One more, and you can put yourself in the winner's side grand finals.
Yeah, again, this is very tough. When Mastfam is able to set up the War of Attrition, things work very well in his favor. But Xcaliburbladez, of all the players that I've seen on Carl, is extremely willing to play. When did you get a 9 the Phantom?
I do believe I have seen Mast pick 9 once.
I've
But
never seen him play 9. I've never seen him play 9.
Apparently 1,500 matches on the character, but...
Oh, what's up, Dufuteki? How's it going, yo? This is pretty nuts, I'm not gonna lie. I was not expecting this character.
And then maybe pressure right there.
Not gonna get too much done. Keeping Mass keeping themselves plus with the rock here. The problem here is that 9 against Carl has very, very poor defensive options from the corner mix. So you're gonna still see some bursts come out there. Again, the teleports are only projectile invulnerable, so you can still meaty 9 with whatever buttons you want to stuff it. You can see a lot of patience in Xcaliburbladez, willing to put himself into the corner, in fact. Just chilling out and opting to just block this out. Look at this stuff, dude. Just chilling. Oh, well, he had the audacity to break the mirror and get clipped for his troubles.
Got opened up a little bit right there. Maybe pressure
There's some
right
high-low mix
there.
coming in. Oh my god. Bob Ross drops into miracles. Oh my god. Nice stagger on the 5A, 5B. This is looking good for Excalibur. Not going to be able to... Honestly, he might just kill. I don't know with this guy. His combos are kind of nuts.
Never know.
Oh, good
Arcsy
heavens.
right there and gets the kill.
I don't know if y'all
Set
noticed,
right
but
here.
Mastfam attempted to do a CARC to stay safe if Excalibur baited it, but he jumped over it, then went with a J2C and still managed to hit Mastfam anyway. That was crazy.
Good confirm right there from Mast.
Smart play with the doll. Mast opting to use the clap in order to like call out some of Mast's potential movement with meteors on the screen. Blocks the reversal.
One for the DP there, nobody home.
Yeah, another burst coming out here, but this pick for Mast right now is not working out super heavily.
There's the rock right there getting the clip. Fairy.
Not too much is going to come out from this. Chilling out so far for the time being, but this is very, very dicey for 9. If she gets clipped in neutral, that could very well be games off of that like win condition. I love that delay on the 2A. Burst coming in from Xcaliburbladez. He really wants to like finish the job here. Got in. Kills Volante, huh? Oh no. Oh no. There are no spells stocked up for a meterless reversal. It's time to start guessing or use some meter.
Yeah,
Counter
CA's
assault
right
comes
there.
in.
Maybe
The God Hand not quite going to get it done. Dashing up after the fact. It's time to guess. It's time to keep on guessing. blocks the overhead. Gear super, however, in order to stay plus.
What's
arcsys, in
that?
fact, just to get it done. Look at mass barrier. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, went into danger state right at the end of that, but it is going to be Xcaliburbladez going 3-1 over Mastfam and getting himself into grand finals.
Oof. That was very, very, very tough for those guys. For Mast, rather. And he definitely made Excalibur sweat. Like, there were multiple times in which things would swing very heavily in Mast's favor, and he truly refused to let go. Now, we have one of our losers finals players set up here. But right now, we still got to get through loser semis. Guys, we got Dawn versus Fyre, which is, I don't know which character Fyre prefers in this matchup. Not a clue.
Yeah, gonna be pretty interesting. We saw Tomato a bit struggling in that matchup with the Kagura. See how much of a struggle it is. Don't know if seeing that Fyre is gonna swap to the Noel, maybe give it a bit more of a shot right there. But either way, I do think two very much struggle bus matchups into this Relius creature.
Yeah, it is again, neither of those characters have a very fun time against Relius whatsoever. So it will be pretty hard, but we'll see what comes up. Kagura.
Looks like it's gonna be Kagura.
Yeah. So again, we saw it from Tomato's match again that you mentioned. Tomato had some pretty good ideas and had some plays available. I think Fyre, probably having watched that, has a few more ideas on how to either iterate on that or do that in their own way. But, excuse me, let's see what comes up here first.
Let's see what this round started looking like. Gets a clip right there. Gonna be a good confirm right there.
Looking solid so far. This is going to be a bit over 3K. Great round start for Fyre. Getting the burst out of Dawn again is really great. Dawn really likes using Doll very early in rounds and is very much so willing to use Overdrive to cover for that. So if you negate burst as a factor, it's extremely good, because when you go into that next round, that Doll gauge is going to hurt if Dawn continues to play aggressively, and we are maneuvering onto it with a nice little perfect right now.
Yeah, that first round so dominant from Fyre, though, clipping a lot with those lows, especially on those end of the combos, going right back into the pressure. And immediately round two, let's see what we got. We just swinging.
Unfortunate whiff right there. Things are looking solid for Dawn, that is to say. Nice corner carry. You hit Kagura quite early. Not enough meter for any RCs. Nice strike throw as well. But the dropped combos, and I don't know if this is going to lead to disaster. Oh my god. That spin was very, very silly. Dawn really is trying to bait out the flash kick very hard, and I think Fyre is starting to notice, which is why you see him like just hold on to the down back and then end up either hitting a 2B or just kind of dashing out from crouch. Lots of great button usage in order to call out the Doll and stuff it, but again, still having a very tough time approaching Dawn. Gets to cancel into stance from hitting Ignis, but again, that just ends up leaving him vulnerable, and Dawn takes advantage of that to take that round.
Yeah, going into round 3 right there, just down backing from Fyre. Dawn playing this aggressively, using that Doll at the start once again. Got a guess right here, blocking it all out. Went for a nice spin right there. Throw. An immediate burst.
Now, Kagura's OD is not super great outside of just some extended combo routing, but that's still a very big thing to spend. Nice reaction to the crush trigger by using the flash kick here. This is going to be some pretty amazing corner carry. Opts to use the orb just to keep it covered. Dawn trying to spin to win, but it is not exactly going to work out for him. In fact, you were about to eat about 4K because you had the audacity to continue doing so. Unless you get
the flash kick, it does not hit.
That was weird, I'm not going to lie. This is probably going to be Dawn looking for a counter assault and then trying to set up a dual BIOS momentarily. Great reaction from Fyre on killing the Doll. Dawn trying to continue his offense. Again, Ooh, clip for trying to 6C. That is a very, very big move to be using in that specific positioning. This combo is liable to kill here. This should be a double super into a dead Kagura.
Yeah, should kill right there. Last hit does
God.
in fact do such
Yeah,
that.
Dual BIOS and OD is like mad long, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'll live, and then she does the rest of it and kills you. And on top of that, Dawn specifically routed in a 6A because it does lead to bonus peroration, so it descales the combo slightly, allowing the super to do a hair more damage.
Yeah, Dawn getting that first game on the board right here, going right back into it. Gonna continue with the Kagura for Fyre.
And again, this is loser semis, so Fyre is locked in on the Kagura. No Noel Vermilion to be seen. We've seen that character swap occur a few times in this bracket, so he's he must be very confident in this Kagura and is willing to stake the claim on that, so to speak.
Yeah, but immediately a good confirm from Dawn right here. Nice starter, gonna do a lot. 3.8, nice though, tech right there, try to catch him.
And again, you see how like Dawn opts to spend Doll very aggressively to bully the opponent, and then will use that early OD to help cover for himself in terms of the costs. It's a lot like taking a loan out of the bank with like a low interest rate when you can just say, hey, I'll just make money up here. Like that's what Relius OD kind of does. He just goes like, okay, well, like I have money, so like I'm just gonna borrow all of this. Thanks.
Dawn getting that round on the board, and now we're on set point here. All right,
Things
gonna
are looking
try
pretty
anything.
good for him, honestly. Ooh!
Good spin right there, and gonna be a good confirm right here.
Looking solid. The 2-4 ends up catching as well. And I'm not gonna lie, should this next knockdown go well for Dawn, that could very well be curtains closed for Fyre. The next hard knockdown is very, very likely to lead into a dual BIOS mix into a potentially dead character.
Most definitely gets a counter hit though. That's gonna be some big damage right there.
Things are looking pretty good so far for Fyre. Or rather, it's tough for him, but he is still managing to find some way. About 50% left on Dawn. Any good C-normal counter hit can very well just kill Relius immediately. But
right
the OD cancel into the super. This is probably going to be an RC into EA, in fact, and that will get the job done.
Yeah, Dawn moving on to losers finals. 2-0 over Fyre. Good showing with the Relius and the Noel. Unfortunately, could just not get it over Dawn. Melee will be leaving with us at 4th place.
And now Dawn has to deal with the person that sent him to losers in the first place. This will be a run back of winner semi. It will be Dawn versus Mastfam once more. After that, we've got a couple things to talk about, and then we'll go straight into grands and get ourselves right the hell up out of here. But for now, it's going to be some Tager action. Tager. Tager.
The Tager, yes.
Okay, Tager action. Jesus Christ, I get nervous.
Hovering over that 9 for just a second. Fortunately, going to the Tager, the character that knocked down in the losers.
Exactly. And again, we are locked in for our top 3 right now, folks. It's not about, at this point, it's not to get to top 8 or to top 3. It's all about looking for that crown to begin with here. But now we are moving into our losers final set. Dawn with a solid early lead right now. Doll gauge at about 50%. Again, a D-summon likely to come up once that doll gauge is below 50%.
Yeah, and the
D-summon comes out right there. In fact, oh my god, this is a little quirky, a little weird with it, but still managing to find a couple of hits. Hard knockdown as well, looking fantastic. That will catch the roll forward. Gotta respect a lot of Relius' Oki options when he goes for the 6A hard knockdown. Probably gonna come in going for it again. Yes, indeed. In fact, dual BIOS layered on top of it. It's time to guess.
You did not guess correctly right there, and that will lead to your death of first round on the board for Dawn.
Things are looking pretty solid for the Relius main. But let's see what Mast has to offer. Oh, that is not ideal. That is not an ideal offer. Spending your burst and getting counter after getting counter hit is not so great. Additionally, Mast doesn't have a lot of meter to work with, but the 360B. We saw Wedge Catapult do a shocking amount of work in this matchup for messing up a lot of Dawn's safe jumps and pressure. So we'll see if it comes up more often. First command grab connects. Second, no, strikes.
Spin right there, getting
He
out.
full sent the rest of Sledge. Insane.
Jumps out right there.
Spark Bolt's available. Not likely to come up, especially when Dawn is able to send out Ignis to body block for him. 720 whiffs.
720. Arc Bolt right there. Charging up once again. Backdash right there. That's going to be a good confirm. Don't think this will kill.
Not quite yet. Reversal Super will connect. Ignis can get back up on the field rather safely. Overdrive's available for Mast, but it might just get used for a burst instead. However, Dawn still has his own OD to cancel into, but the backdash command grab gets it done.
Yeah, now tying up this first game. We're going to round 3. Let's see what the options are that we got once more.
Mast opting to down back. While he did get clipped for Ignis for his troubles, charging that much with a Spark Bolt is still pretty fantastic. The problem is that he's still going to end up in the corner dealing with Relius with, well, not too much doll gauge, but still. D summons Ignis. Things are looking decent. Command grab. We can really get the party started right now.
Yeah, gonna guess right there. Goes for dual bios.
That's not invul.
Right
That's
there.
not invul. That is not invul at all. You truly just did that because you believed that, like, Mast was not going to do anything crazy. And again, dual bias, and that's not like a misinput on a reversal super. Burst bait fails. You should get the burst out of Taker, in my opinion. There, we'll talk about it in a moment. Speaking of which, the burst gauge is still available.
Dual bios
but
once
now
again,
he had to go for that.
Just clipped him low, and Dawn gonna take that first game.
So to put it this way, the burst bait in that scenario by Dawn does not make as much sense in my opinion, simply because eating a burst from Taker as Relius Clover is like receiving a banquet from God. You are sent to full screen against a grappler. Oh no! Oh, oh no! I'm Relius at full screen against Taker. You take the burst 100%.
To do?
Take the burst. You take the burst 100% because that man is doing nothing to you. He's doing nothing.
Immediately, Dawn establishing more pressure. Gets a command grab there. Be a good confirm. Gonna deal a good chunk of damage right here.
Is he gonna wake up OD? I don't think he's gonna. He's not a wake up OD or that much, but I feel like he might do a wake up option.
Rolls out right there.
Just jump immediately. Jesus Christ. Hard knockdown once again. Dual bios. Folks, you know how this goes.
OD right there.
Oh my god. Did he try to Atomic Collider? Ignis is way too close to you, my friend. That's not going to work out super well. That's not even another hard knockdown.
Backdash 720.
You fell into the loving arms of a large red man, and for that, it's a guess for round scenario coming up. Spins through the Spark Bolt, however. This dual bio is not going to get much done, in fact, but due to the way that Taker air throw works, he drops himself right on top of Ignis and still manages to get hit. That was positively absurd.
Talk about unfortunate for Mast. Getting air throw with dual bios still right there. Charging up dual shock bolt right there.
See what I mean about eating a burst from Taker? Look at that. Dawn just kind of runs back in and goes like, oh okay.
Whatever am I supposed to do?
This is a genuinely what the heck do I do now? Oh my god, that catches Rose. Jesus Christ. Alright, guess again.
There.
Oh my god.
Okay, we got a burst.
Weird looking mix. It's funky. Is he gonna 360? Nah.
No. Mid-screen right here. Backdash dual bios.
Yeah, you're probably dead if this makes hit. Oh my.
Went for 720. Got clipped right there.
That was so strange. The magnetism from 720 like threw Dawn onto the other side, and it didn't end up mattering. Doing a 720 there is incredibly risky. You are likely better off trying to wait for an opportunity to OD if you have it available. If Relius goes for a more committal option like a 6A, and then hope to God that you can like catch them and then kind of get the job done that way. Otherwise, like, again, you're very hard pressed for some options in that scenario.
Yeah, Dawn 1 game away now from getting over to Grand Finals. A shot at Xcaliburbladez and immediately here.
And this
Good
is in
start
stark
right there.
contrast to the beginning of the set, where, or rather their last set, where it was at, like, you know, kind of at best for Dawn, like, a little dicey, right? Like, so far, this has been far more dominant. He has truly been able to just, like, handle Mast and not really worry super heavily about the defensive options. If he gets, like, thrown from a stray 360, he's been able to recover very adeptly. And right now, Mast is struggling to find some answers.
Yeah, Don looking so dominant in this set, and then immediately another good clip right there. Gonna be able to get another, just have to guess right here.
Big hits coming in once more. It's going to be a nice knockdown for Dawn. Not a hard knockdown, so he doesn't want to play it too fast and loose. 3C into the OD cancel, wants to keep that doll gauge nice and healthy. Once again, I'm telling you, it's paying off the loan immediately. It truly is like that. 2B low ends up connecting against Mast. This is going to be a lot of damage on the table. Mast isn't going to burst. He's likely going to look for an opportunity to 720, but Dawn specifically goes for yet another hard knockdown and spaces himself out away from some of these 720s. Command grab on the grappler to finish the job. Devious man.
Yeah, and that will be a 3-0 for Don over Mast, getting himself in the grand finals.
And that will now set up our grand final set. So this will be Dawn versus Xcaliburbladez. Now, I don't know if Xcal is going to go for the double puppet bonanza, or if he might try the Rachel for a, like, period of time. But we'll see what comes up. But yeah, regardless of the fact, this should be pretty interesting. It's been a while since I've watched Dawn and Xcaliburbladez play, to be quite frank. So I genuinely have no idea, like, what's gonna happen here. That being said, if I remember correctly, Xcaliburbladez does have, like, a pretty winning record against Dawn. I genuinely can't remember off the top of my head. But we'll see kind of like what ends up coming up here. Again, we got a couple things to talk about. We'll get through it very quickly. So, if you're in Massachusetts in November, or you want to be in Massachusetts in November, specifically Western Mass, Game Underground is hosting Guts. Guts has been an annual tournament for Massachusetts that takes place in Springfield, Massachusetts. The registration and tickets are on sale. You can get them at GameUnderground.com. Folks, if you want to pop in for that, we'll be participating and helping out, as well as Traveling Controller and a few other folks at the Mass Mutual Center. It should be a pretty good time. And if you guys want to see some other stuff that we have going on for y'all, especially for our monthlies, our next monthly is coming up this weekend, the week after ECT. So if you kind of want to re-up on some of your games, you will have the opportunity. We have a ton of games per usual. Y'all have heard this many, many times, but if you haven't or you forgot, you can look at the games on the screen right here. BlazBlue, Undernight, Gear, Grand Blue, Melty, and Sailor Moon S. It's a ton going on here. So, folks, we've got a lot of games. And if you guys are so impatient, you gotta grind out the Undernight, or you gotta grind out the Plus R this week. Earlier than that, we do have Uni coming up on Wednesday, and we do have Plus R coming up tomorrow, both at the same time, 8 p.m. So, folks, if you guys want to see some wonderful games, or you guys want to mash and some other stuff, have that available. That being said, we've yammered on long enough. It's grand finals time, folks. We're trying to get out of here before 11 p.m. So, if the players are ready, I think we're good to go, yeah?
Yeah, I think... I do believe I do. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, both players are in here.
They're in here. They're yapping it up. They're yucking it up. Let's get going. Or at least Dawn has posted or typed twice in Twitch chat. Is really at Excalibur. Doesn't usually go on Twitch chat much. Anywho, I'm assuming this is going to be a dull matchup, and I'm not gonna lie. These get a little wild. They're a little goofy, a little funny. Or are you gonna go Rachel? This is interesting.
Yeah, goes for the Rachel. Definitely think Rachel probably can do a bit better against Relius than a lot of the characters that we've seen match up against Dawn
It's
today.
a complicated thing. In my opinion, and I know this is dangerous to have opinions. In my opinion, I think a lot of people, there were a lot of matchups with characters that struggle against Relius, but I think people still have a hard time really dealing with the matchup to a really learning the matchup or lack a little bit of practice against it. Again, it's not easy at all, but it is doable with a lot of practice and lab work. But for the time being here, I have no idea what Xcaliburbladez wants to do in terms of going Rachel here.
Yeah, it gets
Oh my
Dawn
God.
getting an air throw right there. Gonna lead to a good confirm. Immediate burst from Excalibur though, not letting go much, but immediately Dawn gonna get another confirm. Got that doll out right there.
So one of the big like kind of aspects of this matchup that you'll immediately maybe think of is the fact that like one, Relius's defensive options like out of block stun or on knockdowns is pretty lacking. And two, Ignis's ability to body block some projectiles from Rachel. So there are some ways in which Relius can bother contesting. It's just, again, it's so positional based like many things. Great defense, by the way. He blocked that entire dual bio sequence with seemingly without much trouble or breaking a sweat. Excaliburbladez's defense is pretty nuts. Like his ability to block is quite good, and I think he's got some pretty good neutral presence here. That being said, it's still looking kind of tough. Ignis is disabled though, so that is a chance.
Yeah, gonna be a good confirm here for Excaliburbladez in the corner. Gonna continue, gets the shock right there with Charles.
Things is looking rather nice. 50 meter on deck soon, as well as an OD. Both burst gauges are available now. But it's going to be the 2-1 for A from downtown that clips Dawn. Or rather, that clips Xcal.
And immediately up around now. Immediately gonna establish that doll pressure once again. Excalibur now just pressuring in, using that wind. Clad catches with the low right there. Gonna bring him to the corner. Got the OD right there. Goes into the EA.
Things are looking fine. This is going to be a decent knockdown. It's not going to lead into anything super, super crazy. Catching the roll with the 2A. I don't know if that roll was intentional. Rolling backwards in the corner in this game, not super good. I'm not going to lie. Regardless, Dawn ends up getting hit for their troubles here, and things are not going to look super great. That's sure to be a George on the ground. Rolls out of the corner, but still ends up getting clipped by the 5B. Ignis is killed and brought out once again. And again, all Xcal wants to do here is either get back into neutral or somehow tag out Ignis. Being able to force Dawn to play without Ignis for a period of time is great for Rachel. Bats come back and pops the rod immediately. That was a really smart play. Timed it quite well in order to clip Dawn mid-movement.
Yeah, and gets that projectile to hit right there, and now Excalibur tying up the rounds here in our game one.
Those Lobelias will make you see red. I'm going to tell you right now. She throws that, and it looks like she's throwing a pillow across the room, and it deals like a few hundred damage, and then you're like, okay, well, I'll just move, and then you get hit by a lightning rod, and you're like, oh. When did he set George? I didn't even notice him set George.
I didn't.
By the way, here it is again. You are rolling forward. That is a dangerous game, but it's possible. Fun fact, by the way, if you're less familiar with Rachel as a character, George will never hit you meaty. So you can E-Tech, and then jump forward if you think that the Rachel player is going to heavily rely on George. Or rather, George doesn't hit meaty on E-Techs. It's a little tough. Chair ends up connecting. How did he get the corner? I'm shocked that Wind allowed that. He's dead, by the way. Like, he's actually dead.
Not unless you drop right there, but immediately it picks right where he left off.
He was going to be dead, trust me, I swear.
And now Xcaliburbladez up 1-0 in grands. 2 more, end this bracket, get yourself a win.
It's gonna be tough. This is gonna be very, very tough. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm not too sure how if Xcal is going to continue for Rachel for like both sets, or if he would switch to Rachel if he loses one game, or if he would switch off the Rachel like after losing the first set of grands. I have no idea where his head is at.
Yeah,
but
Dawn getting a fatal counter right there, but an immediate burst from Xcal.
Manages to stay in neutral, clips Dawn, but doesn't end up getting too much out of it. Again, these guys have just been skirmishing, but already Dawn is at about like 70% health, which is quite fantastic. Nice hit, but unable to convert here. Things are looking good for Xcaliburbladez, but again, it's all in the movement right now. He's managing to get out of a lot of scenarios, but he kind of hasn't been able to, like, finesse his way into any, like, really strong set play that Rachel is known for. Dawn, however, getting a hit here and doesn't go for dual BIOS quite yet, goes for a TRM. Relius, despite having a lot of weird, like, high-low mix and other stuff in certain scenarios, well and truly can just, like, play excellent strike throw and TRM you through the usage of Ignis to just put you in block stun and, like, feint or, like, fake out certain strikes or throw scenarios.
Yeah, Dawn closing out that round with the super right there. Xcal immediately starting up, getting a good confirm right here. Gonna deal some decent damage right here. Immediately
Sets up George at mid-screen, and this is going to be pretty good. Not going to be like a lot of damage yet, but let me tell you, that Poison Cloud is going to come out, and that's going to deal a lot of unscaled damage, I'm not going to lie. You might see some of the numbers look a little unfamiliar, but take a look at the health bar. It will tell you the story, trust me. Counter Assault, trying to keep Dawn stuck into that corner. Dawn with a good mash, ends up getting himself out of there. Side swaps as well. Hard knockdown, sure to come up. Trying to keep the Oki plain and simple. Nothing super complex quite yet. CT comes out. That is a dead Ignis. Going to be revived from the overdrive, but still, that's a big resource spent just to get mashed on regardless.
Yeah, getting a counter hit right there and getting the kill, tying up this game as well. And see what we do going into our round start right here. Just backing off, gets a confirm right there. Gonna bring him to the corner, gonna get some good items. And yes, we are gonna go to the corner. There's George right there, Clips right there.
When you think the combo is done, and then you just see another, you see the Lobelia pop, and Rachel flies herself over like, she just flings herself over like a seagull looking for a bag of Doritos on a beach, I swear.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah, good counter hit from Don right there. Gonna be able to give himself a good confirm right there using it.
This is going to be pretty good for Don, honestly. Just for the fact that he's able to gain so much Ignis gauge back. Active flow as well. Baits the burst, but
no punish.
Combo. Meaty command grab? Oh my god. That was absurd. That was funny as hell, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, good command grab right there. And Don taking game 2 right here.
Let me see if he's going to... You going to keep remashing, or are you going to go characters like? Okay. Okay, he's going to keep going. Yeah, dog, the seagulls out here, pretty much anywhere, in any given location, are going to steal some stuff. They're seagulls, dog. They're wild.
I've seen seagulls steal whole Wendy's 4x4s out here.
Wait, what?
Yeah. You never go to Hampton Beach, bro, with no Wendy's.
That's really crazy. Pops the OD, but George is still there to help cover some of the resultant scenarios. Don ends up getting clipped from his troubles, and that OD doesn't end up being of much use. He still has the chance of popping active flow, but is he gonna be able to even hit Xcaliburbladez? I don't know. George is around, always making life a little worse for running offense. Wow, that J2D ended up keeping his offense going while avoiding the George hit. That was pretty clever.
Yeah, some good blocking from Excalibur, but immediately getting opened up right there, and now just going to be able to go to the corner right here.
I was talking a little mess about Don getting a hit. Oh, damn, he missed the hard knockdown. Okay.
That's the win, going to full screen right there.
It's a little messy again. That's a low Ignis gauge. She's going to die. Don's going to probably pop OD if he doesn't de-summon her, yeah. There it goes. Still gets hit. That's a big starter as well. Don is most certainly dead here.
Yeah, should
Let's see what the rest of the route looks like. 6C does get it done. You're not gonna round start like button, right? Oh my god.
This goes back. Don using the
that was
right there.
That was messed up. I'm gonna tell you right now, that was not kosher. He did 3C and it barely whiffed, and Don recognized it a hair late, and then Xcaliburbladez was like, it would be crazy if I mashed here, and then mashed. Oh my god. Again! The 3C whiffed, and then he just mashed the 2A anyway. Jesus Christ.
Right there.
Yo, he's gonna die on this next knockdown. I'm not gonna hold you.
And that should be
Yo, he's dead. He's just gone. Do a simple route. I swear to God.
There it is.
I swear to God.
No dropping there, but we will have a 2-1 for Xcaliburbladez. One more game away from closing up this bracket.
Yeah, Dawn's gonna dig deep. I'm not gonna lie. This is tough. This is very, very tough. Xcaliburbladez on a different character than usual, and honestly, just a lot of this neutral play has been pretty difficult for Dawn. Like, he manages to get some hits, he manages to, like, route well, but Xcaliburbladez's defense also kind of compounds on everything, making it difficult for Dawn to extend his win condition meaningfully most of the time. See a burst come out quickly here, and we're kind of stuck in neutral. Oh, not too much anymore. Yeah,
stuck in the corner now. There's George right there getting this solid hit right there.
Send out the frog. Control the knockdown. Oh my god. Okay, that was a pretty weird interaction in the air between both players. Another air error coming out from Xcaliburbladez, who finds a way to sneak in a side swap.
Counter hit once again right there. Guess is right there.
Instant overhead. My god, we haven't even seen many of those yet. And it's a Rachel set.
George once again right there, just controlling the block. Immediately though, Dawn being able to get out, gonna get a good confirm right here. Now gotta have Excalibur guess right here.
Is he gonna up back wind into popping the bat? No, tries to go for the high-low. Dawn ends up working out in his favor, clipping Xcaliburbladez, routes into the Voltado, and that will be the round for Dawn. But again, this is tough. He is now down 2 games in this first set on the loser side. It is do or die for his tournament life.
Yeah, counter hit trade right there. The doll coming from the heavens, gonna get a good clip right there, gonna do some good damage, and immediately gotta guess one more time in the corner.
Dawn's a big fan of the J214B when he's sufficiently high in the air, and Rachel doesn't really have any particular button necessarily to clip Relius for that. Like, if there is a lightning rod below, then, you know, she can, like, hit him accordingly, but otherwise it's... She kind of has to deal with that. You know, I don't even know if Super Jump Wind, like, up, like, catches Relius on time, but she can definitely, like, reposition. Oh, that was not intentional. I don't think he meant to do button into reverse the super at all.
Not whatsoever. Tough. There's George right there.
Bats are out and about. Sets up the cloud, the coffin as well, but Dawn doesn't really need to approach super, like, crazily. Life lead as well as active flow is really nice for him. As long as he can force out some resources from Xcaliburbladez, Dawn has a very good chance of winning this round.
Yeah, there's George right there establishing more pressure.
Spending a lot of resources, however. Counter assault is no longer an option. Dawn has to build just a little bit more meter to potentially look for a dual BIOS, but Xcaliburbladez doesn't want to even bother giving him the opportunity to route for that. George is set up, but that mid-screen knockdown not doing too much justice. Dawn manages to snake his way out. Nice usage of the wind in order to stay in the air and away from Ignis. Dawn tries to go for a burst bait. Doesn't bite. This dual BIOS isn't going to work out super well, especially with Tempest Dahlia on the screen. Just the ability for Rachel to stay in the air and pollute the screen. The dual BIOS from full screen is not really it. You can't super jump and throw Rachel because most of the time the projectiles come by too quickly. And then on top of that, dual BIOS kind of gets wasted as Ignis is out of the way. So you're just sort of forced to block and reset to neutral, which is fine for Rachel because then she gains a lot of wind. And you spend Doll Gauge on Ignis. So the trade there, not really worth it in my opinion.
Yeah.
Soon to gain enough meter for a counter assault. Dawn trying to switch up his pressure to account for that. And mix up Xcaliburbladez before that threshold, 50-meter threshold is met. See him trying to spin and looking for the counter assault very heavily, but Xcaliburbladez still manages to find a time. Big fatal hit with OD. This probably kills. Yes.
Yeah, this should be
bounce into Voltado, and that will get it done. That should be 2-2 for Dawn.
Yeah, we got 2-2. Dos. Final game of this winner side grands. Dawn having to get just one more win and reset our bracket. And
again, Xcaliburbladez is willing to keep on Rachel for the rest of this set. This is it's the final game of this set. Whether Dawn wins it and gets the chance to see Excalibur bring out the call or not remains to be seen. These guys have been swinging back and forth. And throughout all of this bracket run, it leads us to here on Game 5 in the first set of Grand Finals. Dawn spending a decent chunk of Ignis Gauge trying to clip Rachel out in neutral, but again, when we look at the resource game, so much wind to work with, Ignis is already nearly dead. In fact, there she goes. R.I.P.
Ignis dead now. Gotta play this so carefully. If you're Don, though, gonna be a good confirm for Xcal, though. Gonna be able to potentially bring him to the corner. Gets the bat right there.
Not quite. Still, forcing Relius to spend meter is fantastic. You don't want him to have the option of dual bios. You don't want him to have any other option of counter assault or reversal super. This puts Don in a massive bind now as he is stuck in the corner, dealing with Rachel's set play. But a pivotal drop in this scenario could very well change the rest of this round. Let's see what comes up as Don tries to go for a hard knockdown here.
Nice
Terran attempt. Xcal getting clipped a few times in neutral. Has OD available, spends it, but the 6A still connects! And Don, again, going into reversal super immediately afterwards? I don't know if that's intentional or what. I'm genuinely surprised.
Don't know too much about that, but what we do know is that Don is 1 round away from resetting our bracket here. Xcal gotta do something right here if he wants to avoid that. Flying up in the air, gets a counter hit. Once again, picks up where he left off. Into the corner right here.
Deep dash with the 5B as well, looking for that back dash from Don, maybe even a spin, but a burst bait ends up coming out in the corner once more. Things are looking fantastic. But let's see what comes up next. Catches the roll forward, plenty of meter to work with. A couple of lightning rods will make this super pop off.
Yeah, and that
Oh my god, I don't think he meant to Tempest Dolly. I think he got his supers confused and thus did Tempest Dolly instead of Lightning Super.
Yeah, but gets the kill nonetheless, and it will be a last game of our grand finals here. See exactly what we want, trying to fly in right there, trying to find any pickup. There's one of those chubby bats right there.
But again, look at how much the Lobelias are doing work in just policing Don's movement. He hasn't been able to set up Ignis safely ever since she was dismissed. 2B ends up connecting Don, looking for the instant overhead. The lightning rod traps him from the jump forward as well. Tries to spin another lightning rod, another Lobelia. Don just cannot move yet. Everything that he's doing is getting... all of his movements are getting caught by Xcaliburbladez somehow, some way. Right now, Don trying to play the role of the Constrictor here. Win gauge very low for Xcal. Pops the super here, wants to dismiss Ignis and give her enough time to regen with this route. Overdrive available now is fantastic for Don. He'll probably want to pop it if he has a hard time opening up Xcaliburbladez here, or if he needs to get a photo finish and add on a bit more damage.
Yeah, CA right there. Goes for a spin.
Which ends up dodging the bat, which is kind of nuts. That chair RC could have led to corner and probably a burst from Don. So the fact that that Xcal ended up dropping that combo, very, very big. Counter hit in the air-to-air scenario. Georgia set up, trying to police some of the grounded movement. Oh my god!
Just that right
a
there,
hop,
but
skip, and a
immediate
jump.
burst.
But air thrower might be coming up. It's the JC!
Gets a clip right there, and that will be it. That will be Xcaliburbladez getting the win, 3-2, winning our bracket here tonight. Just a good showing throughout the entire bracket, especially with that Rachel Alucard. So dominant.
Yeah, that character is another messed up character to have in the toolkit. And again, that JC does wonders for air-to-airing, especially when you're dealing with multiple different characters. And Don in particular will like to super jump in some scenarios to try to either safely call up Ignis or maybe just kind of maneuver around. So really good play from everybody involved. And again, thank you guys so much for pulling up to this bracket. We already talked enough about everything we got going on. Sign up for Guts. We have weeklies this week and our monthlies this Saturday. Pull up. Please pull up. We'd love to see y'all come out. But that's it for us here at Boston Blue Beat. I've been Tubazo.
This has been Massive Ego. Thank you once again for coming and supporting us tonight.
Take it easy, y'all. Later. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that.